Welcome to 7-Sided Carpathian Adventure. Travel back 700 years to the early 1300s. Castles like this dot the countryside. The Hungarian Empire, or Carpathian Empire, is at its zenith. The nascent Ottomans are on the rise, but neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire. Holy Roman Empire battles within. England and France fight one another. As the Templars recede into history, the Teutons are on the rise. Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. This was a great hall. There would have been a roaring fire. It would have been adorned with Gothic windows. This might be where our adventuring party might gather. Let's meet them.
From the Kingdom of Aragon, I am Zyman Val. I've ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining knight and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Balder, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
Aha! Hello, friends! You can call me Louvier Moreau. I come from the beautiful country of France, of course! Traveling as a salesman, banished from my home, where by the hand of my twisted sister, my father was killed, and I was implicated. Mon Dieu, how low I've come. But in that low, I found the Champions of the Sun. Although they may not smell like sweet wine, they are honorable. Mostly.
I am Kip Kaelin, Ranger of the North, and I am lost. Hailing all the way from Garin in Scotland, I have faced great tragedy, losing all those dear to me. I am haunted by that fateful night, and what was taken from me. I face defeat at every turn, attempting to enact revenge on those that did this to us. And when all my strength, resources, and allies, save for my trusted wolf Lycoa, was depleted, I stumbled upon the Champions of the Sun at the Battle of Sagut. I decided to ally myself with these seemingly capable and worthy adventurers to aid me in putting the lost to rest. It is what she would want, or so she seems to indicate.
I am Borinth, the Cave Bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the Champions of the Sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect and, more importantly, my trust.
Welcome to the Carpathian Adventure. Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. As some of us are military, some are in construction, IT, retail managers, a few are parents, students, etc. So while we do this strictly for fun, we hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one, you. We would like to thank you, our Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook followers, and our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. To those who have not already, please follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and on Instagram. Please like us on YouTube and on Facebook. And of course, please subscribe on YouTube. If during the stream you follow on Twitch or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. To all of our followers and subscribers, thank you. What's happening in the campaign? The party is in Schloss Kyburg in the Swiss canton of Schwyz. Simon spoke at length with the scholar, perhaps mage, Benzo d'Alessandro. He seemed particularly interested in Simon's tome, that book that Simon stole from his master in Zaragoza. Nonetheless, Benzo helped Simon further decipher it, and he learned more about its possible connection with a powerful weapon called the Tour de Dimon. Some also showed the lord of the keep, Werner Staffacher. Rather, Simon also showed the lord of the keep, Werner Staffacher, his magical telescope. Conferring the ability to see great distances, it may present an opportunity for early warning should an attack be underway. Later, Kartra the cleric and Alderic the rogue explored the castle. Finding a Catholic chapel, the Norse Kartra was intrigued. While she appreciated the craftsmanship, she couldn't quite understand the meaning of the obscure statues. Nearby the chapel, Kartra also found the castle's forge. Smiths were busy making bodkin arrowheads, and longing to swing a hammer in a forge, Kartra joined in. Aldrich explored further and eventually found a secret escape tunnel that led from the castle. It might be valuable should the party decide to escape a siege. Borinth ate lots of chickens, some cat, and what he claimed was a unicorn. Borinth and Mattias also explored the defile north of Schloss Kyburg, the village of Mortkarten, and the surrounding terrain. It offered many defensive possibilities, and a very small force might stop an invading army. Returning to Schloss Kyburg, the party discussed their findings and the defensive options with the lord of the keep, Werner Staffacher, and his staff. Mattias outlined a plan for the defense of the defile north of the castle, and Staffacher agreed, though he didn't know why the party was offering their services. Borinth made a strong pitch for troops, and again Staffacher agreed, though he seemed fixated on defending the Schloss itself. Staffacher said he would provide what he could. What motivates the champions of the sun to defend the obscure Schloss in the lower Alps, south of the village of Mortgarten, has yet to be revealed. With an army approaching from the north and possibly another from the south and west, we rejoin the party on day 3 of their stay in Schloss Kyburg. Welcome back, guys. Woo-hoo. I think, yep, there we are. Oh, kiddo, right. Welcome back. Let me see if Reiner is upstairs waiting for Jess.
Joe just showed up.
I think that was
I heard the
not
bell.
Jess, for Joe to come in. I believe you guys are in the everybody is back in. Balder rolls in through the gates with his cart or
carriage, as the case may be, and in tow, and
You're back.
the rest of the party is inside. What are you guys doing? As stuff goes tumbling off the back here.
What time of day is it? I think when we left, I was talking to Benzo, and it was nighttime. Is it still evening, or
It can
were you
be.
saying it's the next day?
Or it can be. Why don't we just call it the next day?
Okay.
It is day 4 there.
Sounds good.
And Ryan rolls in, Balder rolls in his carriage.
Oh, so maybe through the night, Carter could work on a little secret project that she's been going on.
Sure, help me out here.
So what she's gonna do is,
Intent and
she's
purpose?
she's creating these rods. They're about 23 inches long, about 2 inches round, and they taper down. And it's got like an indent, a 2-inch indent on the top. She makes 4 of these.
Okay, humor me as the DM. What's the intent and purpose?
Well, you're gonna have to find out.
No. What's the intent and purpose?
She's planning on making torches for the party.
Portraits?
Torches.
Oh, torches.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Okay, good enough. Okay, Kartra overnight is working in the forge. They're still busy inside the forge, pounding away and working on some of the bodkin arrows. It's a pretty busy. They're obviously preparing for a fight. And the next morning, at some point, I gather Kartra gets some sleep, and then the next morning, everybody is in your quarters there. What are you doing?
Well, I had a pretty restless night's sleep after speaking with Benzo, and I wake up early and I grab Mattias. And I tell him to follow me upstairs to the.
There I was dreaming of accolades and chivalric glory. Give me a moment. I'll get dressed.
Up to the
But you
burners.
sleep in your armor.
No.
No, it instantly comes on and off. Yeah, he's lucky.
Thank you, Barbarossa.
Okay, so what are you doing, Ryan? A boulder? You just showing up?
Yeah, where do we
Okay,
leave off?
welcome, Joe. Welcome, Aldrich. Aldrich is in the room. You stumble into the room. Zyman, everyone is there, minus Borinth, who is conspicuously absent.
Looking for more chicken?
He's looking for chicken or cat or unicorn, as the case may be.
He has run to the woods again, I tell you. He's playing with Woden out in the field.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yes, if anyone could survive a fall off a mountainside, it would be him.
He'll be fine.
So refresh my memory. Have we identified the real dagger?
No, we have not.
The spearhead?
We had no luck finding it either. Was it in the chapel or in the crypt?
I have a nice full hand of paste, though, if anybody's interested.
You know, though, out of character, they did mention that we might be able to borrow it if we are successful enough in helping out here. They might be inclined to lend it to us.
Oh.
I intend to go present our case to Verna this morning.
Okay, well, you're.
What was the favor? What do we have to do?
Well, that was it wasn't a straight up we will help you with this if you help us with this. It was someone else who works with the rulers of the Schloss said that if we provide enough assistance in the defense of the castle in the coming conflict, since we have volunteered our assistance, we might be able to get enough favor that they would loan it to us.
How do you guys feel about this?
I'm not happy about staying here with 2 armies coming, but
I think we can make it work.
I found a secret passage to get out of this place.
where was it?
Well, that's good.
Down in the jail cells.
The one place we missed.
Always in the jail cells. Always the way out.
Why do they put the place to escape in the jail?
They probably want to escape in front of the prisoners.
Oh, to taunt them.
Taunt them.
Oh, we're leaving. It was here all along.
Please unlock the cage. No, gotta go.
Too busy, no time. much too
All
busy
right, well,
for
at least
you.
we have a way out if things go sideways.
Aye.
It's very possible. Things seem to go sideways.
Quite often, it
Though
looks like.
Borinth and I also
Especially
found
now in a castle with 2 armies coming.
Borinth and I found an ideal place to possibly set an ambush for one of the forces,
Sure it's not 5?
which could drastically alter the balance of power in the coming battle.
Anybody have an idea on troop size? Heading this way?
I do not know, but
More than us.
No. Okay, already I don't like it.
They had little figurines and stuff up in the main
Correct.
war room.
Yeah.
I can take 1 army, so that leaves 2 for you guys.
well, no, there's 2 coming. There's 2 enemy.
I thought there was 3. There's one north, one south, and one west.
There are 2 armies coming. One coming from the north, one coming from somewhere else.
Either the south
or west, and one army made up of the combined forces of the various cantons in this little confederacy, which is hopefully delaying or defeating the other army that is coming from the south or west.
See? So even better odds.
Perfect.
Yeah, I feel better already.
Then how do you feel about the idea of funneling the last enemy through an extremely narrow space where we can pelt them with tons of ammunition?
I like that idea.
I like that.
Because that is exactly...
We used to do that in the tunnels. Yeah.
Tunnels?
Oh yeah, I used to fight in the tunnels. Yeah. We had a thing called the juicer. It was so awesome. It was this big rock, like a round thing, and 2 guys would push it, and you'd just run over the goblins. Oh, beautiful.
Sounds disgusting.
Was. Anyway,
Tunnels.
who's hungry?
The juicer.
Tunnels.
I like that.
The juicer.
Fighting in tunnels. Outside of sieges.
Oh yeah, tunnel fighting. What do you want? We lived underground. Well, we
Matthias-
had big caverns.
wonders if he can't swing his lance, what does he
You
do?
lived in Cappadocia?
No.
I'm afraid I don't understand, but...
Yeah, it's not a place for your horse or anything like that.
I can go where my horse can't go. It's just that I don't understand living underground.
Okay, I don't understand living up here either. With the rain and that big sun and Midgard's so.
All right, as much as I want to fight some people, I think we have to find a location of this spearhead.
Didn't we ask for it?
But I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna.
we
I
need
will go
we
make
need
that deal.
we need a way out. We need to be able to grab it and run through this passage you found. If anything,
Why even fight at all? Why not grab the spearhead and get out of here?
well, that's what I mean. We have to find where it is.
We owe these people no allegiance or no debt of anything.
And if...
and every time we help, it just makes it worse.
Not every time.
I mean, perhaps
Name one.
Perhaps we owe for the bushels of chicken that our comrade has eaten, but other than that,
And what are they fighting? What are they fighting for? There's just a strategic position for them. Do
This
they
is
wanna
their
take this
home.
castle.
Yeah, I don't understand why you humans fight all the time.
So who's here now?
The
people from
the
the
people of
town.
the Swiss cantons.
The town we just went through.
If Leopold succeeds, then this entire area is conquered. It's no longer autonomous.
and that affects us how?
It affects our reputation, for one,
What about stealing the thing and taking off? Does that affect our reputation?
because we didn't keep our word when we said that we would assist. Yes,
Yeah.
and
that-
every
who made
time
that
that you
promise?
break your word, it becomes harder to get people to trust you and help you later.
Not they're all dead that know that you broke your word.
Do you really think that everyone in the castle is going to be dead after this?
But
That's
you're,
not-
you're
There are
comfortable-
2 armies approaching.
You're comfortable on the side that you've chosen to defend these people?
Yes.
And that's enough for me. I don't know much about politics and leaders, but if you're comfortable that we're on the right side, I'm willing to help.
I am. These people just want to be able to govern themselves.
I just wish we had a juicer.
We can make one.
Does a juicer work in the open?
All right.
Well, if you got a narrow path, you can still run it down.
Well, we need to start getting some battle plans going. So you're on that. You find the perfect opportunity to set that up.
There is a narrow defile leading from the town of Morgarten here. The path leading from Morgarten to the castle goes across a single bridge, across a single river that is very steep and very fast. On either side of the river, there are tall cliffs, one of which is directly overhead of the road itself.
Can we drop the bridge?
It's stone.
So?
Do you have anything explosive?
Well, if you hit it in a certain area, you
Can
can start
this
to weaken
juicer
it.
of yours collapse it?
I gotta build it.
Well, either way, if I've discussed the possibility with the lords of the castle that if we were to place archers and possibly a ballista or other small artillery piece on these cliffs, this could be used as a devastating ambush point. That would need very few actual defenders and could just rain down hell on the enemy. It would be, as I put it, a Teutoburg of the modern age.
Okay. I like that. I feel more confident if we can get rid of this, can take out the bridge.
Let me take a look at the bridge.
But we definitely have the advantage that they have to go across the same way we came in.
Exactly.
Now, what about the south now? Someone said it was an army coming south.
There might be. We do not know.
So if we can take the bridge out and do exactly what he said to defend it, we can focus efforts.
The problem is that half of the cliff and half of the accessible cliff is on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
You would have to defend you would have to evacuate as many of those soldiers off the
Bridge
cliff across the
destruction is
bridge
the last
before destroying
resort.
it.
True, because that'll isolate the town and the fort. It's going to be a long time before they get that back up and running.
All right. So if we find a way to destroy it, doing so would be last resort.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that would mean we're leaving behind everybody on the cliff. So if they do become overwhelmed, that would be our last resort option.
Yes. And preferably, we would evacuate. We would get, if it became clear that we were going to have to pull back, we would get them off the cliff before destroying the bridge.
All right. So first thing, we need to talk to whoever here to see if they even have supplies to do this.
We've already done that.
Werner, I believe, was looking into the exact numbers available to see how many troops could be spared.
No, I mean blowing the bridge.
Ah, yes.
If they have any sort of chemicals or explosives in reserve that we can use, then we can pursue that route. Otherwise, it's futile anyway.
What if they
Did we
do
bring any
not
of that
want to
bitumen
give
with
us the spearhead?
Right.
Even if,
Quick,
you
back
know,
to town.
even if we help them. Then what?
That isn't exactly my primary concern at the moment.
All right, so you just want to defend this place and then we'll figure it out later.
Then it comes
Yes.
to knives.
All right.
I do not like the sound of that statement.
I am going to go down again to the escape room and just see where that tunnel, that route leads to.
Probably a good idea.
If you want to give another second look for this dagger or spearhead.
Shall we go upstairs and talk to Vanna?
Well, they're
I think that's the best course of
they're
action.
pretty aware of us trying to. Well, actually, we told them that we attempted to take it. didn't
I
we?
only
And
told Benzo.
And then he said that they suspected as much. from us.
They have feelings. They might.
I was wondering why that
they might be
replica
able
turned to dust.
find out.
Well, we probably should determine where the relic is located, just in case things go south here. And
Well, didn't they
We
say
have
the Lord of the
spent. We
Keep
have
has
spent
a-
3 days so far.
Well, I think it's probably up by the Lord of the Keep's room, isn't it?
I would think either
Is
there
it-
or
he
in
called it a
some other place we have not.
How
Call
about
it
you
a
introduce
regalia,
it?
right?
Well, how about you introduce it as a show of good faith?
What?
They show us where it is in the promise that we will defend this castle, which we plan to do so.
That may work.
we play a game like that in Venice. You show me yours, and I'll show you
There
mine.
you go.
That
Just a
sounds
show of good
so
faith, because if
very-
we do have to leave in a
very-
hurry, we have no option. We're not leaving here without this.
And again, if they prove difficult, I could always.
This gets in the hands of the other army, and we'll never see it again.
You want to know what's valuable to the other army would be knowledge of a secret entrance into the keep.
Oh, I see.
Okay, well,
I
since
hope
we
you
all
can
have
hear me
things we want.
blinking.
Evil!
Just leaving the options open in case things are not proceeding according to plan.
Oh, it's.
Have you painted a large yellow X on the entrance to the
Well, I'm
cave?
going to go down there and I'll see where it leads to. And
Oh yes, have you put a big sign that says "Secret entrance here"?
Arrows.
Magic glowing lights.
All right, I start to walk upstairs.
Okay, you go toward the staircase that leads upstairs. There are a couple guards there. And there's a.
I wish to speak with Ervana.
Hold on. We'll just see if he's available. And one of the guards goes up the stairs. It takes a few moments. Eventually, he comes back down, and he says, "Yes, follow me. Just yourself."
Well, Matthias is behind me.
Please, gentlemen, follow me. He escorts you up the spiral staircase, and eventually it leads into the room that you were in once before, with the warm fires on one end, large set of antlers. Below the antlers is what you now know is a replica of the arrowhead.
Spearhead.
The spear, not correct, I'm sorry, spearhead. On the walls above the replica and on the south walls are peloton skulls with large sets of antlers. There's a huge table in the middle of the room. Werner and a few others are poring over some maps. You recognize them. Benzo D'Alessandro's there, but he looks like he's distracted, flipping through some notes on his own. Jacob Vortraten is there. Nicholas Bachmann, and as is Bernard Mueller. Some of the suspects. There are a couple others there as well. They look more like subalterns or messengers and what have you. And Werner turns toward you. Yes, how may I help you?
Ervana, thank you for granting me an audience. I have come to you this morning with a confession. It was I that stole the honorific spearhead from the knave, and it is I that will accept the consequences of these actions. I have just one final request, that you will hear my tale and my reasons for my deeds before you take me away. As you know, I'm an Aragonese nobleman. My father's lands lie just east of the city of Zaragoza. It was there that I studied under my great master, that my mother enlisted to educate me in an array of disciplines. A year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, I left my home. In my possession, this book, and I slide it on the floor in front of me.
Benzo looks up at this point, and he's very keen in listening, almost too keen. Werner, it's very hard to judge his expression. He's not sure how to react.
One day, I stumbled upon my teacher in heated conversation with 2 gentlemen. He clearly knew. My master was the guardian of a book of some apparent value. These men wanted to secure it elsewhere, but my master refused. Well, my curiosity was piqued. And in short time, I had located the book, and I fled my home for an unknown future. What force compelled me to such actions, I cannot say. It surely was not in my character for such things. Soon I was across the mountains and into France. I had found a woman to love. A lesser English house in retreat in France was happy to add a noble lineage. But again, a force compelled me forward. I again stole for myself. But why? And in doing so, I cemented my destiny. I was pursued relentlessly for my crime. After weeks of scampering through the countryside, I fled into the mountains. It was there, alone in a pass, half frozen to death, that a knight came to my rescue. That knight was Matthias. Soon we had united with the rest of the champions of the sun. It was then that I learned of their quest. I have joined these men, who I now claim as friends, nay, family, in their task. We have set ourselves to destroy an Ottoman vampire lord by the name of Osman Ghazi. A foul creature he is. Willing to devour this world to soothe his appetite, we believe he may be in league with a more powerful demon, who surely has even more sinister goals for this world. Osman Ghazi's minions expand his grasp every day. They tunnel through the land beneath our feet, preparing for his onslaught. His terror is so great that even others of his kind have beseeched us to put an end to his madness. It is this quest that drove me to try for the spearhead. Surely you know the rumors, the myths, the legends of what it can do. I tell you, those are no rumors, and this book is how I know. You see, even though I carried this tomb with me, I had not unlocked its secrets. It has only been very recently that I have begun to truly understand what the book is. It is directions, instructions on the location and assembly, the usage of the infamous demon killer. Something drove my hand to take this book. Something united me with the only men in this world that could use the information within. Something granted me the insight and help to decode its secrets. And something has brought us all here to the spearhead, to destiny. Havana, I propose this. We will defend this fortress. We will stop the approaching army. And we will negotiate the terms that will be most beneficial to you and your people. In exchange, we request to take possession of the spearhead, with the understanding that if we are able to return it after our task is complete, we will. If you require additional collateral or compensation, we will do our best to meet your needs. As for myself, you are free to imprison me at your discretion. However, I would wait until the battle is at least over. My friends and you will need my help.
Werner sits down in a chair next to the table. I don't think for a moment that we didn't suspect that someone from your party had stolen it. But I appreciate your candor as a noble. What you speak of, if true, makes our effort here pale.
It is no less noble, though.
And thank you for realizing that, Matthias. This is our battle, and it is the battle we fight today. And what you speak of sounds horrid. I have heard of this Osman Ghazi. I did not know that he was a vampire.
Few do.
Let alone a powerful one at that. We're going to think on it, and Benzo steps in.
I think not even you, Simon, realize what that book is.
Perhaps not entirely.
He comes forward and he casts, may I? And he casts a spell upon it.
Sorry for the delay.
Oh, I think you just burnt it.
I don't do this that often.
I had to brush off the cobwebs then, I suppose.
Something like that. Excuse me for...
It's been a while.
Yes.
This usually doesn't happen.
No. And I don't think that's what I meant to do either. This. That's a little better.
Oh, so now it's burnt and covered in sparkles. Good to know.
Now, can you detect magic?
Yes.
Is it magical?
I'll cast detect magic on it.
Any clothes magical?
It very much is. It never showed it before.
And someone took a great deal of time to obscure it.
Who do you think that was?
And someone quite powerful. Someone incredibly powerful. They didn't want you or anyone else to find what is in that book and what I suspect is in that book. A heinous evil. Much more powerful. The mundane script that you speak of that leads you to the weapon you seek. The components, it's just that mundane script. It's not the book itself, but hidden in the book is something else, something much more powerful.
I had suspicions from the beginning that there was something within.
Yes. I tried to acquire it from you, not because I want the power of it, although it's somewhat desirous to have the power nonetheless. It's very destructive, even in the hands of those who possess it. Now you should be able to reveal it to yourself in due time, if you want. You probably don't want to do so here.
No, I will.
But
wait until I'm alone.
I think it's more appropriate to destroy it when you found the information you need. But that's my opinion. Verna steps in. And what does this have to do with our endeavor now? Theirs is a genuine endeavor. They do need at least if what they're talking about is true and the rumors of the Spirit Helgelons is true, and it does form this weapon that they're seeking to create, then...
If it does, then it is sorely needed. I've seen Gazi with my own eyes. He is monstrous. I am sad to say that my own honor was besmirched in that battle, but we could barely touch him. My comrades, some of them are far finer fighters than I. Far stronger, far faster. They could not harm him in any way that truly mattered.
Verna says, the Helgelons, I know the rumors you're speaking of, but it's just a lance head. It's nothing more. Yes, it's magical, but it's not something powerful.
Sometimes even the concept of power can be enough, can it not?
As a piece alone, it may not be powerful, but in conjunction with others, its power grows.
If we are right.
Let's pray we are not wrong.
Indeed.
And what does the poem that you deciphered say? And tell it to Bernard so that he can hear it himself.
The demon killer shall absolve our sins and drive away all strife. For now we drown, having forsaken our souls for everlasting life. In castle tall, the shaft yet stained, with blood the petals marked the same, yet twisted forever, more its family ever barks their name. The emperor bears the point when regalia is donned on he, as the greatest dragon gave his life so that man would be free. The chambers of his heart may fire a charge, from which none but bar stoutest may flee. Yet require Goulemet's sins wrapped in band to permit binding of the parts for thee. Illuminated Elan will none last. To avoid darkness, all must act fast. For triumph, 4 must charge 2 rods, or 3, 4, or 2, 6. If you fail, the world will fall. A greater demon shall call, and all join in Charon in Styx.
So the point he speaks of, I assume, is the Helgelons.
The emperor bearing the point when the regalia is donned would seem to make a clear indication that this is what we are looking for.
Yes, it is part of the emperor's regalia.
I cannot parse through the rest of it to figure out what the other pieces would be. I've never had a head for literature, unfortunately.
It is times like these I miss Morton. He had a gift for words, and he surely would know the answers.
This is the one time I miss that weasel. Not him. Another weasel who came before. who is dead now. That the weasel is dead now. Do not
I
worry.
was wondering what past history Morton.
No, not Morton. Not Morton. I mean the other.
Like,
the,
man,
you
boy,
know
you
who I mean.
turned him the wrong way.
You know who I
He didn't
mean.
like my singing.
You know he was the one who was dead now.
Just because you want to go home and be with his lady.
I wish that I had a part in it, but I did not. That was very unchivalrous.
Well, yes, we've already accepted your help. The question is, let me talk to Benzo privately and see if there's some way we can ensure that the lance will be back in the future. Nobody desires to possess it. It is a trinket, a bauble that is used for show. Benzo pauses. Yeah, it's probably more than that. Even though the lineage of it is somewhat in question, but still, it is probably more than that. If I understand your poem correctly, you're not a Catholic, or are you?
I tend not to practice.
If you are, you may fear what you find. Yes.
The search of knowledge outweighs any.
Well, why do you cough?
Any fear. Plague. He's got the plague.
Unclean.
No, I mean, there are those who know. But, you may not want to find what you find.
It will be hard for me to resist searching it out till its end.
The knowledge can be a very dangerous thing.
But is there any other choice?
For your quest, I don't know.
Only time will tell.
Be careful what you do with that knowledge. It might be more powerful than a weapon itself.
I will take great heed of your words. Thank you. I will leave you to discuss your actions.
Very well. Verna says, we will send someone for you.
Walk under a blue sky, gentlemen.
Thank you, Matthias, a battery. With that, they turn back toward the table. The guard kind of awkwardly escorts you toward the stairs to lead you back down again. Aldrich.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing? Who's with you?
I don't know if anyone was with me. Were you with me, or you?
Yeah, we're gonna explore that tunnel.
We're gonna go down to the jail cell again and go out the escape tunnel.
2 guards follow you, as they said that they would. They escort you down there, and they're like, it takes you a while to wind your way down into what was clearly a set of jails. It doesn't go through a jail cell itself. It's in between a set of cells against a far wall. And you find the panel down there, and he goes, still there.
Still here.
Well, let's check it out.
After you, my subterranean friend.
Oh, you're going out.
Yeah, we want to explore this real quick.
We'll wait here, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
This doesn't bode poorly at all.
I'll strike a torch, I assume.
Okay. You strike a torch, and you head off into this tunnel, and you're with him. Where is...
I would imagine I go with them.
Okay.
Since they're upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of you go.
Getting held in flashbacks.
It's a very, very tight quarters.
I love it.
Yes. And it's rough hewn. It's nothing. Well, the first part of it, it goes probably 10, 20 feet. It looks like somebody tried to...
Smooth over.
Yes.
They didn't do too good.
No,
job,
they didn't
but-
do a phenomenal job.
This is not the dwarf make, apparently.
No, that's the problem. Humans are always in a rush. They don't take the time to make things nice, but it's not going to collapse any year
that's comforting
soon.
to know.
You continue down it. It goes on for several hundred feet, and then it bends to off to the.
Is it staying somewhat level, or do
Yep,
we
it
notice?
stays pretty much level and for right now, and it goes off pretty much straight, and then it comes to a 4-way intersection.
I don't believe they mentioned this, did they?
They did not. I'm going to peer down the crossway and see if I can notice anything.
Yeah, it seems to go off pretty far in each direction.
Any breeze or anything? We could tell, or the torch is staying pretty.
It's
low?
damp. The walls are damp. You can tell it's cool. It's very, very dark. Every once in a while, there's like puddles in there.
Any way of telling if it's been of any use lately to anybody?
It doesn't look like there's. I mean, there's some puddles on it. It's rough-hewn rock. There's no. There might be some mud and debris on the ground, and you see some intermittent footprints, but they may have been there a day. They may have been there a week. They might have been there years. There's no.
Well, there's 3 ways to go. There's 3 of us.
Yeah, we could either do that or we can go straight. That would be nice. Split up or go straight. What do you think?
I said we go left.
He says left.
Left it is.
Okay.
Follow the left wall.
You go off to the left. Eventually, it bends to the right. It goes down about 100 or so feet and goes down to the right, and then it continues on for another 100 and so feet, and eventually comes into a small storeroom. You look inside.
Yes.
You see some weapons stacked around, not in the best of shape. Some of them are kind of rusty. It looks like they've been sitting in here for a while. It's kind of damp.
Didn't even treat them with oil or anything?
It doesn't look like they're unusable. They're just not in the
Anything
best.
that looks like the Emperor's regalia?
You look around. You don't see anything at the moment.
It's an emergency stash.
You think you see something? Oh, it's a rat.
It's a rat.
We'll search around and search the room real quick. You know?
Yeah. Any point in searching anything, or just?
You look around. You search thoroughly through it. You find a stack of halberds, and you find, which strikes you as kind of odd. I don't know why you'd want halberds down in a room like this. Perhaps to get out on the other side. You find a stack of short swords. Those seem to make a little bit more sense. A stack of shields.
You want anything? I can't use shields or halberds.
Nothing of this is worth really anything. Might as well just leave it here for them.
I guess we'll turn back.
Well, if they ever needed it, they're in trouble.
Yes.
You turn back, you go back, it eventually turns back to the left, goes back to the 4-way intersection.
Just sharpen everything real quick.
Should we go down that right path now?
Yes,
or
just keep going straight.
We'll go straight down that right path.
Okay, so you cross over the intersection where you had turned, you come up from the right and you had not explored to the left, and you continue down the path, and it eventually comes to, it starts to slope downward at this point, and it continues downward. It goes about several hundred feet and eventually comes to a T intersection. You can go right or left.
All right.
Always left.
Always left.
You go left?
You want to mark the wall first before we start doing this?
Okay.
It's very easy to get lost in like.
We have you.
You always go left. You can't get lost.
Okay.
Always go left. You can't get lost.
All right, left it is.
Okay, you go left. It continues to slope downward, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going. It goes, and eventually it comes to a 4-way intersection.
Is this like a natural cavern, or is someone actually took
This
the time?
part, it looks like it's a combination of both. It's no longer man-made stonework.
Right.
It looks like somebody carved here and there, and then there's some rocks sticking out.
I have a feeling this one might be meant as a decoy. We should probably go back and try the middle.
We can always come back here.
Yeah, we can always come back to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we follow the right on the way out and go back.
All right.
But you said always go left, and we never get lost.
Until you're going back.
You turn around, you leave the 4-way intersection behind you, and you go back and you come to that T intersection where if you turn to the right, you would be going back the way you were coming.
Yes.
The tunnel is still damp and kind of rough-hewn. You continue along a short ways, and eventually you come to that 4-way intersection where you came in from the left, and you would.
All right. I guess we'll go right. And
Yeah,
See
we'll
where
go
the
right
straight
from
way
yeah,
goes.
from this way right.
See where the
And that'll be the straightaway that we
Straight,
missed,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you go right, and you continue along a short ways, and eventually it opens up into a small, like, cavern, but the trail continues off toward the left-hand side of it. So it's
Like it gets bigger, but
it's bigger,
There's
and then
still
it drops off to the right-hand side.
Oh, this reminds me of home.
We're not outdoors though.
No.
They didn't mention any of this.
do they even know the way out?
Have they even used
They
it?
refuse to come in here.
What if they locked us in here?
You didn't ask like any details. You're like, they didn't tell us anything. You didn't ask any
but
questions.
They refuse to come in here, which can't be a good thing.
No. Take a look in this cavern. What do we see?
Yeah.
So it quickly, the trail continues off toward the left-hand side, and then it drops off immediately off toward the right-hand side, and you can see it looks like a cavern down below. You, with your infravision, you can kind of glance down, 60 feet?
Yep.
And you can see the ground, and you see some movement on the ground.
We're not alone, people. There's something down there.
Maybe some of your kind.
It's just dwarves in all the caves.
We always hang out around these places. You know,
Crawling on the floor naked.
smack in the back of the arm.
Don't tell the king we're down here.
Is it like large shadows or?
Don't tell the king we're down here.
It's really kind of hard to tell.
It
How
used to be
far
one
away?
path.
About-
Now it's
about 60 feet or so. You said.
Yes.
millions of
I can
directions.
just barely make out something moving down there.
I'll throw my torch down there.
You throw your torch down. Roll an investigation check with advantage.
All of us, or just him?
Sure, whoever's looking over the edge.
1923.
Probably enough.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Natural 20. And what'd you?
50.
15? The two of you, what'd you roll?
23.
The two of you quickly see something large and serpent-like and bluish kind of dart behind some rocks and disappear.
One of those flame things.
I don't know what that is.
What do you have down there that you usually see?
Do I recognize it? Anything I might have seen in my time in the Underdark?
Evil armor class 26.
Roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
18.
You're not sure. You're not sure.
I didn't get a really good look at it. I'm not really sure. It's fast, whatever it was.
Was it big?
Fairly decent size.
Like bigger than you?
Everything's bigger than me. Hit him with the shield.
Are we in any danger?
Probably. Caverns in the Underdark isn't for the faint of heart. It's very dangerous.
We are heroes, though.
We usually only went out there. We went out there with full patrols. We never just sent one or two people out. So maybe we should move on.
Well, we do need to know the way out should this
Yeah.
operation turn sour.
Yeah, otherwise we came down here for nothing.
Yeah.
Do you
Well, we
think
found a
continue-
storeroom, we found
do
the
you think
cavern.
we continue down this tunnel, or do you think that doesn't lead out? We should go
We got
back
that.
to the right chamber.
We have that other chamber with the four-way.
The classic sunk cost fallacy. The best way to avoid it is never to get involved at all.
I say we just keep going forward.
I would agree. Let's go through this cavern.
All right.
Just be on guard. I mean,
Does
I'll
it,
have my
does
shield
it
and
still look
Yeah.
man-made, or does it
You
look like it's
wouldn't be
becoming
stuck.
more of a
Looks like
cage?
you've come too far to stop here.
Kind of, it all looks rough hewn, but as if somebody made an effort to clear out some areas and carve in some areas where it wouldn't be otherwise naturally passable.
So as long as it still looks like that, we'll continue.
Well, it
on.
looks like they
Somebody
took out
was
some
here.
of the stalactites and stalagmites to make it easier for people to move through. So I think your people have been through here.
All right. Let's continue.
You continue onward. The cavern eventually comes to a close, and you end up back in a narrow passageway again. In this passageway, it kind of winds back and forth, but pretty much continues straight. And then all of a sudden, it comes to what looks like the remnants of a rope bridge there. There are 2 strands continuing straight across, but the bridge itself is gone. You can see out across, it goes about 40 feet across a gap in the trail with a slight cavern below.
There's no escape for the castle people here.
On the other side, it looks like it continues on.
How's that rope look? Is it look frayed, old?
It looks like it's been there a while, but you go up and you grab hold of it. It seems pretty sturdy.
How far down is the drop?
You glance down. It looks like you can see the bottom, so you're guesstimating it's less than 60 feet, maybe 50 feet down.
All right. So you got a 50-foot drop.
How high up above is the ceiling?
In this particular area, it looks like it goes up at least 50 feet.
I'll send my raven across, see what I can see over there.
Okay, you send your raven across, your eyes roll back in the back of your head, and your raven continues flying. He gets to the other side. Does he continue down the passageway? Yeah. It becomes the same type of narrow passageway it was on the other side. And then up ahead, it almost looks like there's some light coming from somewhere.
Seems like we've been going through the mountain.
Lyman has a floaty spell that we've used once or twice.
And it does. I can't confirm it because I can't go far enough, but it looks like this is possibly the way out.
Can we? How far do you think we can toss the dwarf?
Dwarf tossing.
I have a
The
potion
sport of
giant strength, maybe.
champions.
She's upset as I actually contemplate it.
I hit you with my shield too.
I don't think 40 feet.
The sport of champions, dwarf tossing.
Giant strength. You
don't toss the dwarf.
Great potion of frost giant strength. I think we can make it work.
Jotnar?
I forget whether Matthias actually knows dwarves exist. I forget whether he knows that elves exist.
So this would appear to be the way out, though.
Well,
as
you're nimble. Get over there.
As far as he knows, you might just
be able to cross
extremely
this
short.
I could probably balance on the rope, but no need to do that now.
But we want to make sure.
Performance anxiety.
Come on, you can totally do it.
I'd like to save my rolls for when they matter most.
That's a roll.
Exactly.
You're gonna roll across the
You're
room?
gonna roll across it?
That sounds more difficult than just climbing.
Okay, so long, dark, deep cavern, possible monster in the cave, and broken down rope bridge.
Certainty of death. Small chance of success.
So we need a rope. We need a rope and a grappling hook, and if we have to go this way, we can make it.
Or a floaty spell.
Or a floaty spell.
I vote for floaty smell.
Well, I have,
Floaty smell. There you go.
I have some supplies with me if you want to continue.
What?
And see if this is actually the way out.
Well, I figured we just have him crawl across.
I mean, I don't have grappling hook, or do I have? I don't think I have rope.
I could let you borrow it.
I have pittons and a hammer and a crowbar.
I can give you Odin's
We could
blessing.
set up a we could
That'll
set up a
help you.
rope. We could set up a rope down. I'll give him a grappling hook so he can get back up.
You
on the
have
side.
Odin's blessing.
Let's see where we are. See if this is even the way out. If we're coming down here in a hurry and this isn't it,
Well, we're
in
supposed to scout, so
trouble.
let's scout.
If this is what the group wants, I'm game.
All I think about is if we race down here being chased by enemies and this is not the way out,
Exactly.
we have a problem.
Well, let's.
I saw you sneak past like 4 guards and grab paste without even getting caught. This should be no problem for you.
And that was only for paste. Imagine if it was something valuable.
Yes.
Very well.
Well, you thought it was something valuable.
Our freedom and our lives is very valuable.
Yes.
I hope those 2 up in the tower get me the location of that device.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you Odin's blessing.
Yeah, so I'll start tying off.
When you make your roll, you can add a D4.
I'll do my best to anchor in a rope.
Why do I
and
feel like
kinda
I'm being
put it down
talked
like-
about
yeah.
behind my back? Getting that cold feeling
My ears
back
are
in my
ringing.
neck again.
Do you?
Go ahead.
I don't know if throwing the rope requires a strength or anything. If that's the case, you should probably do that because I have none.
I mean, yeah. I guess I could try to throw it from here instead of at the bottom of the chasm. It's
Oh,
technically
you want-
closer
do you,
here.
Do you want me to climb down and then back up again, or do you want to try to throw it across the
Well, I was just
chasm?
going to have you climb down.
I thought you were just
And
going to
climb
climb
up.
across the rope. Why are you going down?
Well, we don't know if the ropes are steady or not.
Well, it's
This is
pretty
how we're
steady.
gonna
Look at
find
this thing.
out.
Look at this thing. It ain't going nowhere.
I'm a little too valuable.
Why don't
for
you
the-
just try?
These guys take a lot of risks.
I mean,
was
it's
just going
not
to put a rope
like
down.
it's
and then
not
you
like
climb
if,
back up.
it's not like if you're
Well, how am I
wrong,
gonna
the
climb the
rope
other side if the
breaks,
rope
and
is on
suddenly
this
the
side?
main way of getting out is
The
suddenly
other way,
gone.
how am I gonna get grappling up there?
We got to test the rope anyway.
I
What if
can't
it
do
doesn't
I
work?
could teach you how to throw.
I can't do that.
Alright, I guess I'll throw it from here to see if I can latch it onto anything.
You're going to try and throw it 50 feet, or what is it, 40 feet across?
I guess that's better than 55 feet up. From the bottom.
By me.
Okay, so...
See if I can latch a rock with it.
You take this... What's on the end of the rope?
There's a grappling hook.
A grappling hook? You...
Oh, so if you go down, you can at least get out.
That's true. If I go down, I could go up with my magic rope. Let's do that then. Let's do that.
Can't you go down with the magic rope?
You start to really wind up to it, and then
Well, why don't you just turn it upside down and then it goes...
I just start coiling the rope back up.
Come on! Little magic rope!
I forgot I had that.
You were watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die, and we will be right back.
Tom had to be screaming.
I can't remember. I gotta write stuff.
You are watching the Carpathian Adventure on 7-Sided Die. Welcome back. The party, some of the party, is up in a conference room with Werner Stoffaker, Benzo D'Alessandro, negotiating and also apologizing for having negotiating for, and also apologizing for having tried to steal the Helgelons, or the Lance of Destiny, if you will. The rest of the party is exploring what should be a way out of the castle, and we rejoin them in progress. Yes, nobody's frozen. Good. Okie doke. You are at the bridge itself. It is dark. Who has a torch? You have infravision. It is pitch black, so it's like dim light to you.
I have light on my shield.
It's light on your shield. It's kind of messing up a little bit close in your infravision, but
actually it's dark vision.
Or dark vision. I'm sorry. I'm old school.
Could you light something and throw it down, or is that not something? Is that something beyond your? So
you can only have light on one thing at a time.
Yeah, which is fine.
Okay.
I'll stay in the dock for you, and I'll just light a rock and throw it down there.
Okay, you light a rock and throw it down. Okay. And so you can see down below and you see up above, and there's a little bit of a dark area in between, obviously, but you're heading down.
So, yeah.
Wait! Before you go down, let me just take a look. You know, there are things in these caverns, so let me just give a quick perception check and
roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Could possibly be down here.
Can you go like this with the rope? You just kind of make it go sideways?
No, it's only up and down.
7.
Monsters,
Can you swing
where
on the bottom
are
of it?
you?
It's up to a 3-foot rope.
And then, why are you climbing down? Why don't you climb up and then down? Why climb down and then up?
Well, I don't
Can
see
you-
anything. I think you're good to go.
Or if you have a magic rope, why not just
We
grab
probably
and go
should
all
have
the way
learned the
across
ins and
and
outs of this
curl?
rope before this. But
The way I understand the rope is that it's only 3 feet
What
long
if-
and extends as I move up
what
and
if
down
you
it.
jumped with it and then held on.
Maybe I should try that when we're
Not over the
above a
crevice.
60-foot crevice.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
Can you? Does it swing?
When we get back up to the rooms, I'll put the 2 beds on either side of
What
it.
if? What if we tied a rope to the rope?
I mean, you could do
Made
that,
it longer, and then you could swing from it.
but still, you only have this one section that's magical.
I still don't understand why you just don't walk across the rope.
I have a magic rope.
It's 3 feet long. It ain't going anywhere. Just go across this rope.
I'm gonna use my rope.
Okay. Okay. You're going down the rope?
Going down the rope.
So you know that you basically have to continuously keep moving on this particular rope. If you stop, then it. I can't remember what I wrote, but you know what it says. So you start going.
It's an Acme rope.
It's. Have you seen Time Bandits?
Yeah.
It's
like
a
one of my
piece
favorite
of
movies.
hair.
Oh no, that's
Queen
that's
of the Moon.
Munchausen, not
Baron
Time
von
Bandits.
Munchausen. I'm sorry. Baron
Munchausen's
von
great too.
Munchausen. It's a piece of hair from the Queen of the Moon.
Any Terry Gilliam movie.
And he cuts from the top to add to the bottom.
Exactly. So it continuously, it never really attaches to anything. But as long as you keep moving, you're okay. So you continue to keep.
Well, it didn't work in that movie, but
It did. It worked.
for about 5 seconds.
Well, I mean,
Thanks.
It's only a 40-foot fall now.
you go down. You're easily going down, and you get to the bottom, and you're near that light source, which was reasonably close. You can reach down and pick it up if you want.
Sure.
Okay, you reach down and you have what is it? A rock?
A smaller rock.
A rock. You have a rock in your hand, and you have the rope. Secure it or do something
Yeah, put
with
the
it.
rock in my pocket or something.
Put the rock in your pocket. It gets
Well, now it's
really
dark.
dark here.
But that's okay because I could. Was your shield lit?
No, the rock is.
Did you have a
No.
torch, maybe?
I can see without it, so.
Great, thanks. Okay, I'll just you know what? I'll put the rock in my teeth.
Okay,
Don't
cool.
trip.
You can just tuck it into the edge of your shirt right here. It's like this, and you got this rock. Like
I prefer it in my mouth.
okay, fine. You're.
And I say the magic words in German with the ball bag.
Say the magic words. What words do you say in German?
To climb up, I say ich ver.
Oh, okay. Well, first you start making your way across. It's not a level terrain where clearly somebody had made that path to the bridge, leveled it off. So it goes up and down, and there's stalagmites around on the surface. And roll a perception check.
$22.
22. You hear something close by off to your right-hand side, kind of scurrying towards you in the dark.
Towards me. Okay. About how far am I from the edge of the opposite wall?
You're about another 20 feet. You're about halfway across.
Yeah, I'll start dashing across.
You start dashing across. You hear something coming towards you at this point. You're looking forward.
I hear something from above and cast light. And
It's
take it
dark
away.
behind you. He's out of your sight at this point. He's beyond your 60 feet. And you see he's out of your, you got like 20
His light
feet
looks
right,
like he's
20
moving really
feet down.
fast, though.
Oh yeah, you see the light, but you don't even
Yeah, I
see, you
can't
see
see
like
anything
this,
around me. I
you
just
see
see, like, the
this
flashlight.
light that's like almost like a beam. And you're like, I could have sworn you cast like the whole rock. With light.
Not just one side. It keeps turning on and off.
I don't get it.
When I get about 5 feet from the cliff, I'll start going up on the rope.
Okay, you start to roll a dex save. If
Straight
you will.
dex?
Yeah.
I think something's wrong with my magic.
16.
16. You get to the edge and you pull out your rope and you've got this thing in your mouth. I mean, assume you take it out of your mouth to speak the words, or I'm assuming you do. You take it out and you mumble these words, and it starts to come to life, and you're starting to go up, and you feel something reach up and try and grab at you. What's your AC?
My AC is...
Doesn't matter. It misses. You feel like this something grabbed at you. What are you doing?
I have to keep climbing up or I'm gonna fall. So
Okay, so you you climb up, and how quickly can you move?
40.
40. Okay, this thing takes another swipe at you, and what's your armor class?
17.
17. You feel something whacking away at you from below, and suddenly you're out of its reach. And you go 40 feet per round, you said?
Yes.
So it takes you about a round and then some, and you're there just about level with the precipice on the other side.
Okay, and when I get a little above the precipice, I'll jump over.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check.
21.
21. Whoosh, you leap up, and you've got your rope, and you land on the other side. And you're there on the other side, and you see him with the...
I hold the rock up. Here. Huzzah!
And you can see him now because he's level with you as opposed to the slant line, whereas before you can see him across on the other. Well, you can also see the light, but you can make out much more of the detail now on the other side. Whereas all you see is this light glowing in the distance over there. You're on the other side, and you see the tunnel. You turn around, and the tunnel continues off. And there seems to be a little bit of 5,000 degree Kelvin light off in the distance.
Matthias hates when we're late for dinner, so...
I'm going to say prayers without you. Once the prayer's over, you can't sit down.
the table pissed off.
I'm just going to run to the end of the corridor and see what I see.
Okay, you run. It takes you a little while. You keep going. The light is getting brighter. Do you keep going?
Yes.
Okay, you keep going. It kind of winds around and it starts to rise up again. And then eventually, after winding, he's completely out of your sight at this point. It kind of winds around and winds around. And then you come to what clearly looks like a cave exit. And it's covered with like brush, but you can see the sunlight coming through it. And what do you do?
I'm not going to disturb it. I'm just going to like try to peer through.
You peer through, and you can see that you're in a valley there's no sign of civilization immediately outside of it. It doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. There's you glance down, there's no trail there.
If I had to guess, would the valley from which we approached, would that be ahead of me or behind me? Or
roll an do you have any? Yeah, roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
8.
You're really not sure. You're really not sure, but part of you says, this was going pretty much away from the castle. But you're just not sure.
All right,
but it could have been away from the castle toward the defile and Morgarten, away from the castle to the south, away from the castle to the east. Although there was a big meadow to the east, so you know that. So we're away from the castle to the west, because the castle was closest to the west side of the valley, which means it would have had to go through a mountain.
Somewhere in the valley, I assume.
Or on the other side of the mountain.
That would be key. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna head back.
Okay. It takes you unless you're running at a full tilt, takes you about a minute to come back.
I'm gonna wave the stone to see if they're still there.
Oh,
hey! Hello! I found the exit.
Huzzah! Yes!
I don't know where it is, but it's this way.
What happened at the bottom of the chasm?
Oh, there's a thing down there.
All I saw was the light flickering on and off.
I had it in my mouth.
Okay.
Do you want it back?
You can keep the rock.
That is now the mouth rock.
Mouth rock.
Yeah, so I am not going to climb down into the chasm again, so I guess I'm going to test the strength of the ropes.
Okay. You're not an expert on rope, but you look at it, I don't think you are, correct?
I don't think I'm an expert on ropes.
Yeah, so, you look at it, as the ropes go, it doesn't look bad, it just looks like whatever was below it just collapsed away.
You obtained a little insight off of the rope master. I gave you that rope.
You look at it, roll an investigation check. Straight up.
20.
20. You're like, I think this is going to hold.
I'm going to come across.
Good luck. Right.
You have healing spells, yes?
Yeah, but if you're down all the way down there, it's not going to do you any good.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll start trying to. I'm going to do one of those, where you put your feet on one end and you climb back.
Okay.
One of those jobs. I'm not going to.
Are you not going to show off?
No. I'm not an acrobat. Well, I actually have acrobatics, but.
Oh, is that family? Walenda? You're
Yeah.
not a Walenda? Walk across the road?
So I'll do one of those
Just run
jobs.
across. Naruto run across the
Okay,
road.
you reach out on it with both your hands, and then you kind of pull yourself out far enough that you can throw your legs up around. You throw your left leg and your right leg up around it, and then you start scurrying out across it. And you know that it's about 40 feet across. Give me 2 acrobatics checks.
Am I blessed?
I had long lessons.
Oh.
It only lasts a minute.
Oh, okay.
So.
2 acrobatics checks. First one is 21. And second one, that's much better, 29.
I don't think you needed the blessing.
You're doing fantastic. The first one, you're getting about halfway, and it's getting, your arms are getting a little bit sore, but then somehow you wrap your arms around it, and you get your second wind, and you continue your way across it, and then you're there on the other side, and at the other side, you're suddenly there up against the post, and you see Borinth behind you, and you see Kartra on the other side, and they're both standing there, and you realize your legs are out over the cavern. What are you going to do?
My legs are still over the cavern.
Well, because you went
Right,
hands
back.
first, I'm assuming, correct?
We'll just grab them and pull them
Little help?
Yeah, we'll grab them.
We'll help you out.
You reach down, and you help him up. Okay, just an acrobatics check or athletics check with advantage, whatever is better.
23.
23, they reach down, grab you, and lift you up onto the surface. There's some skittering as your feet click against the edge, and some pebbles go tumbling down into the darkness below. But you're on the other side.
Well, at least now we know the way out, although the way out isn't easy to get out.
And there's a thing.
Could be anything.
I wonder if it was the same thing that we saw at the other cavern.
Probably.
It kind of had claws.
Could be anything.
Did it sound the same?
It kind of growled.
Displacer beast, who knows?
Could have been a vampire for all I know.
Throw the rock at it.
This rock? The mouth rock?
Yeah.
Nobody wants the mouth rock, just throw it.
This is a blessed magical item.
I don't think it works that way. And I pull the light back to my shield.
Throw the rock
From far below, you hear it hit something, and it goes. You walk off.
So you can put a light on anything, pretty much.
Yes. One at a time.
Okay. So I guess we found the way out.
All right, let's head back.
You continue back. You cross it meanders back and forth, and you pass the cavern on your left-hand side. It goes all the way down to the. Are you heading out at this point?
I guess no need to explore anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we have that other intersection if you really wanted to look around. That's up to you guys.
You want to look around, or are you hungry? You want to get back and get some chicken?
I had filled chicken. I mean, chicken's nice and all, but I'm getting tired of chicken.
I'm game for looking around.
Yeah, let's explore. Sure.
Let's get in trouble.
Yeah. Another torch.
Get in trouble.
Okay.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna enjoy the underground as long as I can.
Okay, eventually you come to that four-way intersection. You know that if you continued straight, or at least as best you recall, if you continued straight, that it would take you back to where you came in. You turn to the left at this point, and you go back to the T intersection. You had started to explore to the left. You did not explore to the right.
If we go to the left, there's going to be another four-way intersection.
Correct.
And if we go to the right, we hadn't been down that way.
Want to go to the right and check
Let's
it
do
out?
the right, yeah.
All right, let's go to the right.
Okay, you continue to the right. It meanders down. And how are you guys moving?
I'm assuming you're first, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of first with my shield out because I'm kind of used to
Full
seeing
on
everything.
sprinting.
Full on sprinting? You're full on sprinting. Who's in front?
Carter will be up front.
Okay. Okay, you continue up ahead, and off to one side there's a small opening or a small niche, and it appears to be like the wall is almost made out of like some kind of crystal, and it is ever so slightly glowing.
Have I ever seen anything like this before?
Wish I had my rock. Phosphorescent walls.
Roll an investigation check with advantage.
I need that. I wish I had my rock.
17.
You're not sure. You're not sure. You're like, it's not normal. It's clearly, you go up and you touch it.
Yes, this is smooth.
You go up, and as you get close to it, all of a sudden, the crystal fires a beam of searing. You get about less X number of feet away from it. It fires a searing light towards you. How do I make that sound?
It's never good when he goes, wait, you touch it?
You touch it?
I was actually going to lick it because
Gun trick? You touch it?
Wait. You're going to touch the glowing walls?
It makes it, a searing light goes streaming towards you. And what's your armor class?
17.
17. You take...
You thought it was like the rock.
You take 36 points of damage, of radiant damage.
I just watch him like fly across the
Like smoking.
My hair is like...
Your cloak's on fire.
It's like his cloak is like Indy's hat.
Yeah, it's indestructible.
Well, don't touch that.
I don't think you should...
You move backwards? You're as quickly as you can?
Well, I assume I'm throwing back. But,
Well, you're kind of, maybe a little bit, and then you have the chance to get back a little bit further.
Yeah, I'll jump back and... I'm going to actually pick up a rock and throw it at the thing because that annoyed me.
Oh no.
I just duck for cover.
Tom, get the shield out. The shield out.
You throw the rock at it, and sure, roll the hit.
This is why we have such a high turnover rate for our party.
Just anyone a dex?
Well, it's a throwing, so I would assume it. Yeah,
range.
Think of it, we really don't have a very high turnover rate, do we?
26.
Party was never
26. You slam and you see a little bit of spidering on it to the extent that you can see it at this distance.
What was his name again?
But it doesn't seem to have any.
I wasn't trying to kill it, just annoyed. Some frustration.
Okay.
Wall.
Wall. This stuff could come in handy.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if it's alive or it's just some sort of.
So what does it look like?
Elemental.
It's this. It looks like it's some kind of crystal in the wall, as if it was some kind of crystal that you would mine if you would.
Have I seen that? Have I seen that kind of crystal before, or different from the other stuff?
It doesn't look like the crystal you've seen before, but it looks like crystal, and the other stuff was crystal. It just I think you're talking about the large shaft of crystal that went up through the ceiling.
That also had that ability to like attack you.
Yeah, this looks more like a wall of crystal, as if you
unmined crystal veins and such.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know.
I
Threw
would
a rock at it.
I would
and
just
didn't
not
seem
touch
to-
it.
Okay, let's come back to our compatriots
We just
upstairs
not
for a
attack it.
moment here. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we were waiting for a response. Do you want to go back to the defile for anything?
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything else that I can find out about it. It's relatively simple at first glance once you know what you're looking for.
Unless we want to get into the watchtower and I can use the spyglass to see if the army is getting any closer.
That's a possibility, but we're waiting for responses not only in regards to your query, but also in regards to the exact numbers that are available to us.
That is true. Shall we go get something to eat?
That is probably the best course of action since we cannot find our.
We
Our compatriots seem to have disappeared.
We didn't have breakfast.
No reason to
lunch
wait
is
up.
in
They're
order.
just going to be late again.
Yes.
We'll head over to the great room, I suppose, or the common room, whatever you want to call it, and bide our time while filling our bellies.
Might as well.
You head over toward the great room, and it's the people are there. It's the smell and the stench of the bodies in there. It's
Is accumulating over the days?
Starting to get slightly riper as the people are the confines of the castle.
Maybe we should take our meal back to our room.
If you insist. This honestly reminds me of the camp back in Carpathia.
Yeah.
The food is good. The food is hearty, although somewhat plain. There's a lot of chicken. The vegetables seem to be becoming somewhat thinner as the days progress here. But you understand the situation. The paths are not blocked yet, so they're still bringing in supplies as of right now. Not a lot of bread is being served, but you would know as a warrior soldier that they're probably using anything fresh at this point and preserving the
rest.
The rest, anything that will last for a long time, like
Especially when
wheat
salted.
for later days, if you will.
In preparation for an extended siege.
Just in case.
Probably salting as much meat as they can.
You take your meal and you go back to your room. You
Yep.
leave the confines of the stench of the common room.
The
You
rabble.
You saw the mayor over there with his rather.
You've never been in a war, have you?
Large wife.
No. Why would I have been in a war?
I'm a noble as well, but I'm a knight.
I know that, Matthias. You have seen me. It is pretty obvious I have.
Yes, I have. It was a rhetorical question.
I've only stabbed one thing since I have met everybody, and the cavern was pitch black and nobody saw it, and still nobody believes.
I don't even remember that.
Exactly.
It was an accident.
Let's go. Finish our meal.
You get back to your room. A guard shows up and says, I'm sorry to interrupt your meal. Werner and the rest will see you if you're available.
I'll push my bowl away and stand up and
I'll attend
follow
as well.
him immediately.
They escort you back up the stairwell to the common room. They're all seated at the table, and you see that there's extra chairs there, 5 extra chairs at the end. Where are your compatriots? Says Werner.
I honestly do not know, unfortunately.
They were out of the room when we returned from our morning meeting.
Oh,
I suppose surveying something in the anticipated defense.
Can you speak for them?
I believe the two of us can, yes.
I think so.
We thought long about your offer. You seem like stout warriors, and your answer was very honest. Not surprising, but very honest. We'll accept your offer. If you can bide us time, gosh forbid you even win, even the better, but I doubt that, but even the better. Or if you can bide us time until von Strasse's army is defeated by Uri and the other cantons, all the better, by Unterwalden and Uri. We will loan you the Helgelines, but it's a loan. Benzo thinks he can put a spell upon it that will recall it in 2 years' time. Is that enough time to accomplish what you need?
I fear if it takes any longer than that, none of us will have any time left.
Yes.
Do whatever you feel is necessary to
Well, that would give
secure
you
it.
until June of 1323.
I think with haste.
That is what I was intending anyway.
You asked about additional troops. We have a ballista.
Yes.
We'll have the crew with it who's experienced in using it as well.
That would be most
and we can spare some archers and some men-at-arms. Right now we're thinking it's probably going to be about 10 archers and about 10 men-at-arms, but I'm not sure of the exact numbers. It's a very narrow defile. If you're successful, you probably won't need a lot of men. And if you fail, the numbers won't matter anyway.
That's fair enough.
You need to hold as many in reserve to secure the slaughter.
I don't know what's going to come from the south. We haven't heard from the other cantons yet if they've encountered von Strasser. If they have, all the better. Hopefully, between the two of them, they can defeat his army. If they can't defeat him, at least hold him at bay. But we don't know for sure.
Any word on how far the army is from?
We don't have an exact number. We know that they've passed Augsburg and that they're headed south. We suspect they're just northeast of the Badenweiler.
Okay. Could head out to the tower and take a look.
I think that's the best course of action right now.
Okay. We'll do that. Well, thank you very much for your kind consideration in this matter. I am sorry to have defiled your keep in my actions. I hope our action and time will prove our worth to you.
I hope so too.
We shall do everything within our power to see that this battle is at least not lost.
Klaus Weiss is will be the subaltern in charge of the troops. He'll probably seek you out at some point.
Understood.
And he'll take his guidance from you.
Very good.
I wish you luck. Let me know when you plan to set up and whatever you plan to set up.
Of course.
That will be left to our tactician, of course.
And it will depend heavily on who else is with me.
I will be by your side.
That is much appreciated.
I believe my place will be on top of the ridge.
Most likely. One of them, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I will be the troll under the bridge.
All right, well, we'll slowly make our way across the countryside and down to the bridge and the tower.
Okay, you exit the castle. You cross the courtyard. You make your way. As you head out of the castle itself, a light rain is falling.
I'll run faster so it doesn't catch me.
You can't outrun the weather, my friend.
One of those clouds, just like
with a little frowny face on it.
Exactly. You're soaking wet. He's just drying.
He's just followed by this one little raindrop. Meanwhile, I'm like walking through a fairy tale forest.
Osman Ghazi has just resorted to just pettiness. He's like, forget you.
Rains on you all the time.
It's horrible.
A light rain is following. The trail converges with the first, moving back on the right, paralleling it. The trail descends and cuts back and forth. Eventually, you see the guard tower up ahead and the bridge beyond. 2 guards sit on stools at the base of the tower. One is leaning back on the stool, much like you saw once before, up against the wall.
Their chairs. They're on stools now.
I'm sorry?
They're on stools now because
Yes,
they stole the chairs.
the chairs. Chair is conspicuously.
They're still talking about that. Where would they go?
Who would take it?
Are we sure that the chairs didn't just grow legs and leave? The chairs are
holstered.
I can learn animate objects.
I believe we're going to upholster the chair, weren't we?
This way lies the sorcerer's apprentice. We do not want to go down that road.
At least Jerry won't be sitting it on his whole ship.
We wish to go to the top to survey the lands.
The other is leaning forward. The heavy wooden door with iron hasps is ajar. Just inside, you see a few horses. You suspect they're for early warning to send message back. The guards look up and smile weakly. He says, "Hello,
Guten Tag.
Yeah, guten Tag. Wie geht es Ihnen?"
Sehr gut. Sprech ein bisschen.
Ja, sie sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich verstehe. Ja, gut. Glebenforce. Have a good day.
And you as well.
Yeah. The other guard is visible in an opening near the top of the tower, though he appears to be dutifully watching what is visible on the path farther ahead before it becomes obscured by the dominating terrain of the valley. Slightly to the left of the tower, you note the trail that you noticed before. It ascends to the ridge itself. It ascends to this ridge itself up here.
It leads from the side, leads from this side. The bridge up there.
Back here. On the right, the deep rushing mountain water looks cold and uninviting. On the other side of the bridge, you see the abandoned toll building, the large ridge just beyond. The ridge rises to join the high cliffs and on the right and then crosses to the left. It appears as though the path ascending the ridge just beyond the toll building. The toll ridge to the front, the path immediately turns left and then parallels the steep bank, the cold river to the left. Ahead, the path bends around the ridge. Through the banks are still quite steep. Are you continuing that way, or where are you going?
Does the tower is high enough to look over?
No.
This? Okay, then proceed to somewhere over here
Okay.
to look out that way.
So we build a wizard tower there. Archer nest over here.
You ascend the cliff. The path cuts back
Ballista
and forth.
here. To go that way.
Yep.
The path cuts back and forth on the high cliffs. It cuts back and forth to the right and left, just beyond the toll building, up to the right, and then to the left, and then quickly back to the right. And you find yourself on a very small rise with a small clearing. There's some vegetation around, providing some concealment, not necessarily cover. Off in the distance, you can see the tower, barely through the trees. It's kind of hard to make out, though. Looking the opposite direction, you can see the village of Mortgarten pretty far into it. And you can see just beyond it, it continues beyond that point.
I will take out my spyglass and try to survey the land past the town to see if I can see any smoke from fires or any sign of the approaching army as of now.
You pull out your spyglass and you look and you realize that right now it's raining and it's kind of murky. So you can't see that far, but as you start to scan back and forth, roll an investigation check with advantage.
Remember,
23.
Remember, you do have inspiration as well.
Yeah. 23.
23. In the town, you see a couple soldiers meandering through the town, and they're kind of looking like, almost like investigating.
Scouts.
Yes.
Firewall. Practice the defenses.
It is probably best we do not reveal ourselves. We want to lure them in.
Exactly. If we hit them now, they might
if one
try
is,
to avoid this
if one,
area.
yeah, if one is able to escape, we will be but that means they are getting close.
Should we go back and report this to Werner?
I believe so. At least the expeditionary force has made its way to Morgarten.
Yes.
They're probably a little bit further back than that, but you get the idea.
Yep. All right, we will head back to.
You turn and you beat feet down the trail. You have no trouble remaining obscured. There's lots of vegetation along it, on both sides of it. It's fairly easy to find it going back. You look at the bridge as you're crossing the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You remember there was a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You realize that it's a stone bridge. Nothing is impossible to destroy, but you realize it would probably take some kind of powerful magic, perhaps to do so quickly. Perhaps something that would turn stone to mud, or stone to flesh, or something where you could quickly then do something with it.
Something I do not possess.
But if you were just to try and pry it apart, it would probably take you a little while.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else you creatively came up with.
No. You'd be sick turning that stone to a flesh.
Really freak out the enemy.
Yeah, it's squishy.
It was squishy.
What's that red stuff coming out?
All right, we'll just beat feet back to the keep.
You beat feet back toward the keep.
Or I'll jump on the back of
You might be able to
Mattias's
help with
horse.
that.
You jump on the back of Mattias's horse, and you guys ride as quickly as you can back to. You pass the tower. It meanders. It meanders back and forth.
Did you tell the people at the tower that there's some scouts there?
We should.
Yeah, sure we did.
Sure.
Of course. Keep an eye out.
Okay, back with our plucky party in the bowels of the earth. What are you guys doing?
All right,
You're down
we pick
near
Aldrich off the floor.
Helping him stand up.
All right, give me a second. Let me
Somebody
see.
get the name of that bus?
I'm gonna do a ritual detect magic and see if it's magical in nature. Odin, give me your sight. Let me see what this is.
You do it as a ritual. You cast the
Give me your
ritual.
sight, but preferably without taking my eye like you had to.
How far back are you?
How far back am I? About as far as I can make it. I think it's like 30 feet.
30 feet.
Not far enough.
So is that 30 feet your maximum distance?
Yeah, for detect magic.
Yeah, to be able to see.
Okay, you get within 30 feet. Just as you start to, it starts to grow slightly brighter as you're approaching it. You're almost at that 30 feet. You continue?
Yeah, a little bit.
You continue. Has this searing bright light, and it shoots forth a beam from it, and it goes blasting towards you.
Look out! Hey, good sound effects.
And what's your armor class?
19.
19. This bolt goes and just misses you. Do you stay there?
Yeah, I'm beating feet back.
You move backward. Roll an insight check with advantage.
Insight. Okay. With advantage. 23.
You know it's not natural. You're like,
all right, this is some kind of defense or something. This isn't like a natural stone. Now, why it's here underneath the castle, I couldn't tell you.
What?
Meanwhile, in the distance,
Somebody shut that horn off.
Perfect. Meanwhile, in the distance, for chaos.
Now, can you walk? Is it just like it just ends there, or?
so you continue. You can go past it, but it seems like somebody started to like tunnel in that direction, or there was and just said no.
Yeah.
And then continued on.
All right, so the passage kind of ends a little bit near it then.
There, but it looks like it continues straight also.
All right.
Or not straight, but kind of off to the side of it.
I don't know, you guys want to risk going past it without touching it, licking it, or casting any spells on it?
What's the fun in that?
We found out about it, didn't we?
Yeah. Could be there to protect something, though.
Oh no, they're going to go treasure hunting.
Anything back there?
I want to go back. Yeah.
Maybe you could sneak past it.
You said treasure?
Do I notice?
You said
'cause
hunting?
I noticed that when Katra was approaching it, it started to like glow up or buzz a little bit. Do I notice anything like in the floor? Maybe is there any type of delineation or barrier that maybe activates it? That's what I'm thinking of. Instead of like a magical type of
It's not reacting.
presence, maybe there's something that we're tripping. I'm thinking like along traps and stuff.
Roll an investigation check.
18.
You look very carefully, you scan the ground back and forth, and it looks rough-hewn with pebbles and rises and falls. It looks like somebody started to clear it up to just about 30 feet, and then pretty much stopped.
And when I threw the rock, it didn't shoot a beam out back at us.
You were beyond a certain distance when you threw it, and it did not, no.
But you were able to get up and touch it. Oh, did he get up and touch it, or he got
Well,
close
I
and
think
then it blasted him?
he went up, and I'm just assuming it was all kind of one continuous movement toward it, and it all happened very quick.
All right, so you were getting close to it and it blasted you.
Yeah, blasted.
You might have actually touched it, but you probably don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't like this game.
Granted.
Okay, I mean, well, I'll keep going, but yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, let's keep. I mean, we're here now. Let's keep going.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, you continue down that path that goes past
And
it.
it does still look man-made, right?
Well, man-made is a loose term. It looks like they're rough-hewn, but then cleared by man, if
Well, that's
you
what I
will.
mean.
Yeah.
So there's
it's-
still indicators that people have made this path.
Yes.
And maybe ran into this crystal and just kind of went around it.
Yes.
Okay.
You continue on, and eventually,
We should bring Zyman down here, perhaps.
eventually you come to you come to a
Want to
point.
one-hit him?
I got more hit points than he does.
You come to a point in this tunnel crevasse where all of a sudden it doesn't come to a stop, but it looks like from here it looks like any clearing stopped, and there's like a kind of a set of rocks that kind of descend to one another, and there is a tunnel, but you would have to get on your belly to continue to climb through it.
I'm gonna look over Contra.
I'll go.
You get on your belly and you start to climb through it, and it's rough hewn. At this point, it looks like no humans have touched it, and it kind of winds back and forth, and you continue on, and you get about. What is the rest of you doing? The other two of you.
Does he go out of our view?
Your view. What do you have for light? You have the stone.
Just the torch.
The torch. What's that?
2020.
2020. Not yet, but he looks like he's about to go out of your view.
What do you see?
Just a tunnel, that's it. Looks more natural than anything else.
Yes, it looks very natural.
It's a natural tunnel.
Any crystal crap?
I didn't see any crystal crap.
Okay.
How far ahead can I see? 60 feet? Or...
Well, I mean, it's not like a clear path 60 feet because it kind of cuts back and forth.
Right.
But yes, your vision is
Last
60
time we
feet.
dealt with laser crystals.
You know, some places it's
That's what I
it
was
probably
talking about.
cuts back and forth,
I've
so the
got
amount
such a
of 60
pleasant
feet
memory.
might
Right.
be somewhat reduced. But it is 60 feet, but it might be like 10 to here,
I'll
15.
keep going, but as soon as it starts feeling like it's going to get too tight, I mean,
It doesn't feel like it's too tight for you, especially for you. I mean, you're somewhat small, even though you're stocky.
Right.
You're kind of and plus you're used to the underground and comfortable in underground. You're on your elbows, moving along through the thing. Roll a perception check. Perception.
24.
24. You hear something skittering up ahead. More like a.
going backwards.
You start backing up.
Yeah. This is not a good place to be.
Okay, you start.
Oh my! Exploring the
You start backing
that
up.
No one has used in years led to nothing but danger. Surprise, surprise!
Ah, you gotta get into some kind of hijinks.
Okay, you start backing up. You continue to back it. You see the two of you see him coming. His feet coming back towards you.
What do you see?
There's something in the tunnel with me.
Kill it.
It's us.
I keep going back.
Eventually, you make your way back out of the tunnel. You're back with the two of them.
I think that thing that you saw down in the cavern, I think they're running around in these things. Otherwise, it'll just keep going and going.
Well, we know where the exit is, really. We were just exploring these areas just to see what else was here. I suppose there's no further use in this particular...
If there was anything you could loot.
You said that crystal wall, that was magic?
No, I did not say that.
No.
I said that you're pretty sure that it ain't normal.
It ain't normal. Okay. But it didn't glow, though.
It did glow. Oh, you didn't get close enough to... I mean, before you got to 30 feet...
Oh, okay, it blasted us.
Yeah, it blasted you.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
As you started to cross the threshold to 30 feet...
It shot its beam out.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I never found out.
It's sentient.
It's a
But
fire
you're...
in its knees, or...
You sit there and go... It ain't a vein of gold.
No. Nope.
Usually doesn't shoot.
It'd be nice if we could
magical beams.
figure a way to harvest it.
Gold
but-
doesn't try
Maybe
to kill
we'll,
you for getting near it.
Maybe we'll head back and ask the guards about this place.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
True, Cayman.
Probably a good idea.
Maybe they can let us know if it even leads to anything good.
So this was the right side of the T section.
Correct.
And there was still a four-way cross section that we didn't explore.
Yes.
But
On the left side of the T section.
yes. So
Well,
you want to just go back to the guards? And
Yeah,
then-
let's head back and ask the guards about this area.
That's a good idea. Rather
See
than-
what they were using it for.
Very well.
All right.
There must be a reason they didn't want to come down here or something must have
Well,
happened.
my good friend, the guard Yost, showed me this. Perhaps he could.
Your good friend.
Might be tight
So we'll leave the other tunnels alone.
for later. Yeah.
Okay.
Your good friend, the man who, if things go pear-shaped, you will leave to die.
I just said he's a good friend. I didn't say I liked him.
If we survive the war, we'll come back.
Very good. Let's go back to the beginning of the cells.
You make your way back the path. Eventually,
My
you
friend
come
here
to
needs a healer.
You
Yeah,
come
it's
to
a shame
the
you don't have one.
You come to the T intersection, you make a left, you come back to the four-way intersection, you make another left. It takes you a while, quite a while, and eventually you meander out and you're back at the entrance. When you come out, one of the guards is sound asleep right there, the other one's kind of leaning up against the wall. He looks over at
Is
you.
the door like heavily barricaded, or is it a regular looking door?
It looks
or-
like a stone door, almost like it kind of slid in where it would obscure itself from the outside. But from the inside, you could easily tell what it was.
And it locks from the inside.
It doesn't lock.
Barred or
It doesn't, no, there's no bar, there's no lock. It just, you would have to be able to know where it was on the outside to find it, or be incredibly good at finding that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'll
Get the door open.
Yeah.
Scare the crap out of him.
Okay.
wake up the guard. We're back.
Hey, welcome back. What'd you find?
We found creatures in there.
Oh.
You did not mention creatures.
Well, I haven't been in there, and I didn't go in there for a long time, and how far I did go was...
But you've heard rumors of creatures.
No, I didn't hear rumors of creatures. I mean, we've heard rumors of lots of things in life. But, obviously you've dealt with it, so good for you.
Yes, good for me indeed.
As it's whiff of
Still
smoke
have
coming up.
static
Yes. Feels like you got singed by something.
Yeah, I'll have to fix you up when we get back to the room.
What's with the crystal thing in the wall?
I'm not familiar with the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find the gold?
The gold? What gold?
Well, never mind.
Back to the tunnels!
We'll be back.
And our entire and over half our party is missing when the battle happens.
I now have.
Do you
decent
happen to
current
know
rate
which
for my
way to
body.
go?
For what?
The gold.
No. Just not what I've heard.
Can't you smell it?
So we shall defend the defile ourselves.
Where the hell is that Viking?
Where are they?
Well, where are you off to?
Gold.
Oh, you're going back in. Okay, well.
We must regroup and go back for the gold.
Very well.
So what is this rumor about gold, though?
Whose gold is
I
down
just
there?
heard that
This reminds me of a mine.
I heard that there
and
was
a
a gold
demon.
mine there a long time ago, but
And short
could be
people
wrong.
who dug too deep.
I mean, there is supposed to be a lot of gold in this region, but we're near the Tyrol and there's a lot of gold mines. So, what?
What?
You don't look like you believe me. I'm Yost. Would I lie to you? I'll be like this.
Come on, let's go back to the room, get you something to eat, and I'll fix you up.
Thank you, mother.
Come on. Drag him by the cloak.
I'll take hold of my hand.
He said gold.
He leads you out.
Crystal zapped me.
He leads you out. You make your way through, and you spiral up a couple floors, and then you go across, and eventually you cross the through a couple other rooms, and you make your way back toward your room. Yes. No. Okay. Probably about this time, Mattias and somewhere in here, maybe not exactly this time, Mattias and Simon return.
Smells like unicorn meat.
You missed prayers.
I mean, he was saying his prayers.
I was on my knees enough.
What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to use my channel divinity. And,
Do I want to know what was going on that you all were missing?
Heal you 40 points.
Oh, thank you. That will take me up to full.
Because that statement raises
that's a
so many
bunch of healing.
questions.
It's a nice warm glow that just enters the room, and this beam just kind of shoots out and envelops him. And
You realize that
You're a
that's
whole again.
a statement just raised more questions than answering anything.
He's Italian. I don't know. In Venice.
Oh,
Explains everything.
well, no, I've known one Venetian who was a very upstanding man.
Yeah, one.
And neither does me.
No, it wasn't you. It was the cleric who was here before either of you.
Well, I have some horrible news. The army is approaching.
We encountered scouts.
Mattias and I discovered some scouts in the town.
There are monsters under the castle.
we did find the way out, though. And possibly gold.
Yes.
Of course.
I believe the army is the most pressing issue at the,
I believe
at the
so,
moment.
too. Balder, are you looking
well,
are you
disagree.
gazing longingly at your bag full of eyes again?
You're right.
So the army has finally arrived?
Not quite,
There
but it's
is-
going to.
There is a scouting force in the village.
Then they're probably just a
Did
day
you
or
kill
two
them?
behind.
At the most. We did not want to engage for fear that if only one escaped, it could.
Jeopardize our plan.
So you were afraid, I see.
Did you expect that to actually get a rise out of me?
I don't know what gets a rise out of you, good paladin, sir.
I'm not a paladin. Please do not indicate that I am somehow equal to one of Charlemagne's peers, because I am not.
You're just such a goody two shoes.
He's like a horse master.
I heard that they sleep with their horses.
I don't think so. There's way too much armor on that horse. But anyway.
I don't know. It's just
So drinks.
Anywho,
Perhaps we should go tell Werner about what we found.
Khan's blood. Yes, let's.
Yes.
The bridge.
Any luck with the artifact?
And as
something
we have made arrangements to defend the castle, and we have secured the lease of the artifact after we have done so.
What if the castle falls?
It is in our best interest to ensure that it doesn't.
Well, we found the way out, so there you go.
But without the artifact.
It is in our best interest to ensure that it does not fall.
And without the gold.
Stop saying that.
We need both before
What
we
gold
leave.
do you speak of?
Think of it this way, you two. If the castle falls, we don't get the artifact or the gold. If it stays safe, we get the artifact, and you can look for the gold after.
So you're confident about facing these two approaching armies?
And you trust them?
There's one.
Trust who?
And to be perfectly frank, we
That they're
have the
gonna give us this
advantage
artifact.
we will have the advantage in the situation because we will be laying an ambush and drastically reducing the impact of their numbers advantage.
No, I do not trust them, but I do not believe we have much other choice.
I would feel better if we had possession of this artifact at once, but I suppose if you could negotiate no better deal, this is what we are left with.
What did you have to agree to?
Just the defense of the keep as well as we can. If we can stop the army, all the better. If we delay for time, that is fair enough. We will see when the dust clears where we all stand.
Do you think that the artifact is held by the castellan of the keep? In his possession or in his chambers?
His chambers are one of the few places we have not inspected, although there are a couple other areas of the keep that we have not investigated.
I'm having so many flashbacks
With
to
our
that monk who
increasing-
first kidnapped
It
me.
is possible it was in his
I would imagine with our
direct
increasing
possession.
interest, they've moved it or someone is guarding it.
I would say it has been moved several times since we have attempted to steal it the first time.
I'm getting so many flashbacks to
We
that
prefer
monk
the
who
word
kidnapped me the
liberate.
first time.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Matthias.
I have
think you could
liberated
take me
many
out to
things
the
in my
bridge?
life then.
I suppose.
I just want to take a look at it and see how they built it and see if I can see any weak points on it.
All right. With me then. We should be able to get there and back before it becomes too dark.
All right.
The two of you leave the room. You know that it's probably about a 15-minute ride down there. And what are the rest of you doing?
I will head up to Werner to let him know
Okay.
that
I'll go with you.
You go with that?
the
Him
army
up
is
to-
coming.
While the three of you head upstairs, the two of you ride down the path. You remember, you easily know the way. You've been back and forth twice so far in the past
time
2
to
days. You meander your way down there. You get very quickly to the bridge. You see the guards there. They're no longer leaning up against the building. They're actually inside. The door is closed. They're looking outside the window since you told them. Like, do you speak German? I forget.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. He says to you in Deutsch, do you speak German?
No, I do.
No. They mumble something
speaks
to you.
under-German.
And obviously they sound concerned in their expression.
I speak Hungarian, Latin, and Turkish.
They're not saying anything important.
I think they're just telling us to be careful.
I'm learning Italian. That'll bring me up to like 7 languages. I still have like 4 I can learn.
Soldiers?
Yeah.
More?
Wie ist
We're gonna go
das?
barbarian, just read through a book.
Well,
Das soldiers.
teaching me Italian.
Nice.
I'll get her to teach me.
More
Icelandic.
soldiers? Or scout? Scout?
Wie fahren? Wie fahren? Yeah.
Ignore them.
I think it's all right.
You're right there by the bridge. While he's gabbing away with them, you can see the bridge in front of you. You can pull that back and look at it if you so
Nah, I
desire.
don't need to. You can how wide is the bridge?
I don't have it memorized.
15 feet.
The bridge looks like, just a hair under 15 feet, maybe 12 and a half feet wide on the inside. The stone walls on either side are probably, looks like a solid 1.5 feet wide.
Okay. How is it anchored to the cliff face?
The cliff face? Well, the cliff face is about right here and about right here, and it kind of extends slightly over, and then you see a large, it's probably, what's that, each hex is 5 feet, so about 7.5 feet wide balustrade underneath that's supporting it on either side.
How thick is that?
How thick is the balustrades themselves?
Yeah.
They're about 7.5 feet
They're probably
thick.
big square.
They're probably
pillars.
the
Big
length.
square pillars.
They probably just extend on either side, from one side to the other. Yeah, they just probably go from one side to the other.
I could melt 5 feet of that twice. It's 10 feet. I don't know if that's enough to destabilize the bridge, though.
Meanwhile, have I managed to get any answers about what they're trying to say?
Roll an insight check.
Insight, okay.
15?
15. You think they're wondering if you saw any more enemies?
No.
9?
9.
9, ja. Das ist sehr gut.
9 more?
9 more? Nicht 9, 9. Ja?
Ja.
Ja, das ist gut. 9 ist nicht sehr gut.
9 ist nicht sehr gut.
Luftballons.
Yeah, there you go.
99.
99 Luftballons. You're not even here. How are you talking with them?
He's in your head. He's got a whole setup. Starts inflating some balloons. Yeah. I think we're not talking about the same thing.
Okay, so you're there. Anything else? I mean, you've scoped it out pretty well.
Yeah.
You've gone down to the edge to the extent that you can. You really can't get down in the water. The water's rushing pretty darn fast.
Right.
And you can tell that it's pretty cold, and it's kind of like a Venturi effect underneath the bridge. It's a narrow confine, so it kind of rushes quicker, and then it slows down is a very loose word. It slows down a little bit on the other side, but it remains pretty quick all the way down until it starts to spread out near the village.
The bridge looks fairly
Well,
sturdy,
it's
recent.
probably meant. I'm sorry, say that again.
I mean, does it look like a new bridge, or it's been around a long time, or?
Roll an investigation check.
6.
Yeah, you're not sure.
But it's big and stone.
It's big and stone. I could kind of destabilize it, but I don't know if it'll be enough to break it without extra help.
Well, that's our last resort either way.
Right. All right. Let's head back.
You turn and you start riding back. They say, Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Jules.
You sure you don't want to stay?
They look rather longingly as you depart.
Take me with you.
That's a nice armor you have.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and then you head back toward the keep. The rest of you, the three of you, are up. You go to the guard. You tell them you want to meet with Werner, and he says they escort you upstairs, and he says, "Yeah."
We come with grave news, Werner. It seems expeditionary forces are in the town of Morgarten already.
Have you spoken
to Klaus?
Klaus?
Not yet. We've just gotten back. Do you know where he may be?
He turns to one of them, and they one of the subalterns, and they quickly leave the room. We'll find him.
Okay.
Very quickly, and yeah. Good luck.
Thank you. Prepare yourselves as well.
We shall do so.
I'm gonna pull Zyman aside. Can we trust this Klaus?
I have not discussed much with him, but he is.
What if he is in conference with the enemy?
Do not trust anyone.
Just being cautious.
I mean, that is always a possibility. There is also the possibility that I am in league with Osman Ghazi.
We could go ask the enemy.
I mean, Klaus is not here, and the expeditionary forces are in town.
Perhaps he is getting some food.
Perhaps.
Well, we'll see when he gets back, I suppose.
Out of character, perhaps you're just looking for reasons to be suspicious.
Perhaps you just want to kill Klaus? You never even met Klaus. You never even met Klaus.
I know what you're up to, Klaus.
I assume he is just a man in the army. He's following orders.
Very well, if you believe so.
I mean, you suss him out. You think you take a keen eye to him. You tell me what you think of this Klaus.
You'd be surprised what a man will tell you with a knife to his throat.
A man with a knife to his throat will tell you whatever you want to hear.
Exactly.
I do not believe you're understanding my meaning. It is not always. You don't always want to just hear what you want to hear. He's only telling you that so you do not slit his throat.
Plus, it will not hold up in court.
Why do you think the Inquisition doesn't actually torture people that often?
You have strange customs north of the mountains.
Yes, we do. We do. I just turn around and walk down the stairs.
The things he's taken as truth while killing people. Actually, it actually reminds me of Assassin's Creed when they tell you their whole secrets right before you kill them.
Yeah,
Like, why?
everything.
Why would you do that?
That's it's as they're dying usually.
Gotta tell you.
Before you go.
You guys meander back down the stairs.
monologue
Werner
my
and the others
dying
are kind of
breath.
scratching your head at their heads at your whispering back and forth, and so you over here want, is this a good idea? And you continue downstairs. A short while later, a gentleman, clearly a soldier, in armor, in studded leather with plates. Heavy shield and a sword comes in to your room. He has a couple of their soldiers with him, and he says, I'm Klaus Weiss. I'm told I'm to take orders from you.
You should be taking orders from him. He is the military man.
You're Klaus. Huh?
He will tell
Yes,
you
I am
where
Klaus.
Where have you been?
set your men.
I'm sorry?
Where have you been recently?
Stop attempting to interrogate the soldier.
Been recently, as in today?
Yes.
To the common
Ignore
room for food. The two of you are back, and to the chapel to pray for our salvation.
Right, so I have to make a prayer tonight before the battle.
And if I speak to the chaplain, he can confirm this.
I don't.
Why, Aldrich?
Don't know. Why? Perhaps. I mean, I stuck out my tongue like this to receive communion, and the priest put a holy wafer on my tongue. I don't know if he'd remember me. He might remember my tongue. Do you want to draw a picture of it?
Just ignore him.
You humans are weird.
Just ignore him. Wait, what? Never mind. So, I understand it. You are the minor officer in command of the force that I will be helping to lead.
Yes, that's what I was told.
Yes. How familiar are you with the geography of the area surrounding?
Very familiar. I've
Particularly,
lived in this area for years.
very good. And you were aware of the two ridges on the either side of the road leading from Morgarten to the bridge?
Yes, sir.
then it should be relatively simple to explain. Matthias goes into his explanation of the plan. The intention to hold the enemy in place and make maximal use of both the element of surprise and the ability to reduce their numbers advantage and its impact on the battle, whilst utilizing both range tactics and the small and the ballista to delay and, if possible, demoralize the enemy into a retreat or even a temporary one.
I will follow my orders, sir.
Very good.
And I will follow yours, even if it means our lives.
With luck and the blessings of heaven, that will not be necessary. But your dedication is noble and admirable.
But your actions will be watched and followed.
Aldrich, be quiet.
It was Klaus in
Ignore
the chapel
him.
with the communion chalice.
Very well. I hope they are watched.
Perhaps we should send the ballista now. The ballista
Perhaps.
crew to begin setting up.
Where do you want the ballista crew? On the
On the plateau, this side of the bridge, facing towards the small
Very well. It
house.
will probably take to get the ballista up that narrow path. It's going to take a few hours.
Then it's best that we get started as soon as possible so that it's ready for when the battle begins.
I will make that happen.
I will lend a hand. I
Very
can
well.
shorten the time.
Very well, sir.
Thank you.
What?
And where do you... I have some archers, and I have some men-at-arms.
When the time comes, I think 4 archers on this side of the on the plateau on this side of the bridge, 6 on the other side. That way we will be able to divide our firepower somewhat more evenly between the two sides, while still ensuring that there will be enough on the other side to actively impact the battle. However, if the situation becomes dire enough, it should be ensured that they can get back across the bridge in case of the necessity of retreat. Meanwhile, the men-at-arms, I think that some should be with the front line, along with myself and how many of my party members join me, while the rest will be held in reserve in case of exhaustion or casualty.
I think that's wise, sir. Very well. By your leave, I will start the men on their way.
Please do.
He excuses himself and he turns and he leaves. What are the rest of you doing? Anything else?
Matthias heads out to the front gate and off to the side slightly.
Okay.
I fear that I will not be of much use on the front lines.
Do you have a bow?
I have a crossbow.
Good. Then you can shoot.
You may join me on the ridge with the other archers.
As long as I have a view of Klaus.
Shall we paint his armor a brighter color for him?
Not necessary. I'm sure I can pick him out.
Fair enough.
Keep your crossbow on him.
Instead of shooting the enemy.
I don't want to shoot him. I just want to make sure he's on the level.
No. I mean, what, are you going to keep aiming at him the entire time instead of actually pointing my crossbow somewhere useful?
What time of day is it
Just
about
one
now?
eye.
Quite a lot has happened. I would say it's probably close to late afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get with the ballista team, kick their butt in gear, start helping them carry everything.
Okay.
I will go to the ridge with the archers and prepare to set up an overnight camp at, if anything, right?
Probably the best idea.
I think we need to.
Are you setting up on a bridge maybe or something?
That's what I was
Position that
thinking.
we
Unless you
want it.
guys got a better idea.
Here's the crew.
Oh, you did it for the mini.
Where are you going by the You going to the ridge or you
I'm
going
going to the ridge with some archers.
I guess I'll go with you.
Here I am.
Here are your men-at-arms.
Because, like, I don't know how battles work on the surface, so wherever you think you need me.
Most of those guys should be.
And here are your archers.
I guess I'll stay with. Hey, you Maddie's over there?
That's Mattias with the banner.
I guess I'll stay with Mattias.
Over with the ballista.
While they're
too
setting
far
up
away.
their battle position, you're watching the Carpathian
That's where I'm
adventure. And
technically
we'll be
am
right
right
back
now.
in a moment. Welcome back. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die. The party is north of Schloss Kaiberg in a pass and south of the village of Morsgarten. It looks like there's a probability of a battle about to happen. And we rejoin them in progress. It is dusk.
Is there a moment for Matthias to pray?
Of course.
So, just somewhat behind the rest of the group, if you're paying attention, you see Matthias kneel. I have sworn my sword, soul, and body to the defense of my liege, land, and people. No foe shall find me wanting, no obstacle shall bar my way. For my righteous victory shall be as the rising of the sun. Under an eternal blue sky, I swear, I shall protect the innocent, I shall preserve the sacred. Cruelty's myriad shapes shall know my wrath, shall be denied my mercy. My honor shall be unblemished, my piety unshaken. I rejoice, for I swear this oath under an eternal blue sky. Tangri Preserve.
Oh. Thought you weren't a paladin.
I'm not.
Thought you weren't a paladin.
Nice prepared speech. Dusk is falling. There's still a light rain falling. Visibility. You can see the edge of town. You could probably see from the cliff up there. You can see probably this far. The rest of you can see all the way back as far as from up here. You can see all the way back into the town. There's a light rain falling. The sun, it's just before sunset, but the sun is behind the edge of the mountain, so it's that period where it's kind of gray, but with the overcast, it's just kind of got that miserable feeling to it. What are you guys doing? You start to see some troops emerging from the edge of town, Zyman, from where you are. Aldrich, you probably see them as well, and the troops up there with you.
I don't know how it'll work mechanically, but I plan on using my excessive strength to actually operate the ballista faster for them. So I'll be the one cranking the rope back.
Okay. Here's the ballista stats. I'm going to say that it'll probably give you reduce the time frame by 1 round.
Okay.
If that works well, if you're part of the crew.
Action to aim and action to fire.
So normally it would take 3 actions. So instead it'll take, if you're part of the crew, I'll say 2.
Perhaps.
Okay.
But
you can probably, let's say another +2 to hit.
That's all-
So it's
that's up to
normally
them.
+6, it would be +8 to hit.
Okay, cool.
Sound good?
Yeah.
As long as you're part of the crew. And then if it decreases,
Yeah, it'll
then-
go back if I have to leave. But for now, I feel like since I'm giant, I might as well be the one make this thing go a little quicker.
Okay. So
I will tell everybody, all the archers to hold and stay
And we
where
will
they
ready.
are.
We will ready a bolt on our end.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys the troops that you have here. These are kind of the basic stats. They might have some other abilities. Who's managing the archers up on the hill? Anybody? You collectively do
I
it.
guess I'll
But there's
keep the
the
archers.
10, should be the 10 troops, men-at-arms, and one of them actually, the men-at-arms is actually higher because he's the leader of them, Klaus. So you can make him level 4 and he's got 40 hit points instead
one's
of
Klaus?
20. I think he's pretty clearly
this guy?
No, where is he? He is the guy with the sword over there.
Here.
He'll go wherever you want him to.
You.
Okay.
Do you want him guarding the bridge or have him up at the...
I like the deck save.
He shouts across the bridge to you. Is this where you want us?
Do you need more dice?
yes, we need at least some forces in reserve in case the need arises.
Very well. Okay. The enemy starts to push forward. You from up top see them down below. I'm just gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, thereabouts. You guys didn't let me know when to pause when you're doing something. So far, it doesn't appear as though they've seen you.
We are holding. We are trying to get them at least to
this boulder-ish.
Do we want to see? Do we want to see if they?
Parlay.
I personally don't think they will, but Kartra brings up a point.
Just attack.
It served us well so far.
I start aiming the ballista.
So from the ballista, you can see probably back to about right here, given the
Alright.
fog and the rain and so forth.
It's like kind of concealed by some. It's like concealed by some bushes and trees. They can't really see it.
Are there any pathways down in from the plateau into the town, or is the only?
No. Well, you haven't found one yet. Let's put it that way. Does that make sense?
Understood.
The last time we did it, we just climbed up, right? On the way
Found
here.
Yes, you climbed
we
up
climbed the
outside.
face, and then we found when you weren't here, we found the path.
Okay, they get to
Yes.
about that point that you were talking about.
Oh boy.
What are you doing? So far, it doesn't seem as that. I assume you guys are hiding behind the bushes, and it's relatively easy. No need for a stealth check at this point. And
Especially considering the cliffs are so high.
I will cast Wall of Fire.
Oh boy.
Take out a small piece of phosphorus out of my pocket.
Yes. Hundreds of men burning in battle.
Glorious! Alright, so that's 60 feet long and 20 feet high.
Are you a Viking too?
Yes.
So,
Cleric of Otis. No, in character.
Oh, in
I'm
character?
gonna put
Yes,
it.
the Cleric of
a
Otis. In character,
long
Matthias does
wall.
that.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know you well.
How wide is it?
It goes out 10 feet
Okay, so
from the edge that way.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's double that width.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh?
Way to mass murder.
Yes.
Dexterity save for everybody.
Dex saves!
I will aim at the one of the most pain.
Mercy kill.
And Dex saves! Across, how many troops am I looking at?
Many.
Many!
I can't see them through the fire.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, possibly 16.
Okay, I'm just gonna go roll, we'll call it 5, we'll just triple it. What'd you say? Natural 1 and natural 20, and, well, what's the saving throw?
Dexterity?
What's the number? DC,
Oh,
please.
17.
17, so, I've got 6 failures and 9 saves.
Failures take 22. Saves take 11.
Yikes.
Okay. Roll initiative, everybody. The bad guys have a 19.
That's okay. We'll watch them
I
burn.
have a natural 20.
A
Plus my
natural
10
20.
initiative.
Awesome. If somebody could help me out with the
I'm using
tracker.
I'm using
I
an
left my-
inspiration.
Sorry, Carter, I left my
I'm using an
peak
inspiration.
touch at work. Okay.
That's okay.
You got it?
12.
12. Okay.
All right.
Hold fast, men of Kyborg. Hold fast, men of Morgarten.
All right. So opponent's got a 19.
Because they don't speak our language.
Yeah, 20.
You just tell them to do stuff. They don't know what the heck.
All right. So 20, 19.
Gotta lead by
18.
example on this one.
Yeah, hopefully they get the gist.
Simon is next. What'd you get?
I got a 13.
All right. I got a 13, but I think your dex is higher. So you got.
Really? I got a 7 dex.
12.
Oh, I go then. I have an 8.
I have an
Wow.
8 dex.
Wow. Oh, she is completely and utterly.
And do I roll for
clumsy.
these guys, or do they all go at the same time?
They'll go on your initiative.
Okay, so I'll go at the same time as they all do.
Yeah, it'll make it easy.
And same for the archers and
Yeah, it'll just make it easier.
Simon?
Whoever's managing.
understood.
Can you see?
Yes, I can. Yep, perfect. Okay, Aldrich, you are up.
I really want to take a shot at Klaus, but I'm going to hold on to that.
Wow. Is he like standing right next to you? Where is he? Oh, okay. Just turn around and shoot. Whack.
Watching. Oops. No, I'll take a shot at the lead.
So how many of these guys, did any of them die?
None of them went down yet, but they're like flailing about.
Probably not happy.
I'll take a
Oh, we didn't
shot.
get a cool shot of some guy jumping off the cliff on fire into the water.
Awesome graphic. The lead guy closer to the cliff, closer to the fire rather. With the
They're all jumping in and going down river.
crossbow is a 12.
A 12. Your arrow flies by him and he's flailing about at the moment, and the arrow, and not for your lack of skill, but because of his flailing about, the arrow flies right past him.
Okay, and I assume I'm still concealed up there somewhat.
They don't look like they're fixated on you yet.
Good enough. I want to just move down further the pathway over here.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That is it. The opponents are up. These guys are burning. Let me just roll some of them a morale. They kind of push forward. This side moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just kind of pushes up. I'm just moving them quickly. This side, some of them start to turn and start to run at this point. Some of them are in a panic. And the rest are kind of pushing up. You hear shouts and screams from behind. Okay, and that's about all they can do this round. That's the opponent. Simon, you are up.
Are any of them still within 10 feet at the end of their turn?
Within 10 feet of this? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this one is, this one is, this one is, this one is. Sure. And sure.
Those are the ones that died?
No, I'm just marking them that way.
They all take 24
They all
more
take
fire
24
damage at the end of their
What
turn.
is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see these bodies flailing about in the flames, and then all of a sudden they go down. And they're just laying there as corpses on fire.
Good rock band.
Corpses on fire. Oh, I love that. Cool. That's my favorite band.
That's a little. Is that ash?
It's a little chalk outline of a body.
That's so
like
neat.
red.
I like that, Tom.
Tom doesn't have a million figures, so you gotta make up for it.
He needs to recycle them.
He needs to recycle them somehow. Okay. Anything else, Simon?
Powerful Seder.
I will then cast Fireball on the group of guys in the back.
Simon didn't come.
Man, Simon's been waiting his whole life for this.
Oh my gosh!
He was built for this.
I'll take all those guys.
And the building.
Pyro, huh?
This is actually about this wide.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I've been waiting a really long time.
I told you this was the best idea.
I told you we should have brought him along. 86.
There's another one behind this one.
Here it goes.
Once you uncork that bottle, you can't put it back on.
It just keeps on pouring fire.
His eyes are glowing red. He's just evil.
25.
Cackling maniacally.
For fails, and 12 or 13 on saves.
Okay.
Dex save, 17. AC 17.
Okay, let me see. How many of them are we talking about? Just give me a total number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 of them. So what? 5. We'll just roll 4 twice. Okay. And what's the DC again? Please?
17.
17. 1 save, 2 save, 2 fails. So that makes, you said 8. So 4 fails, 4 saves.
Mm-hmm. So it was.
What's the
12 and 25?
Yeah,
Were
12.
any of these
12
guys? No, these guys weren't. These are fresh, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
25 on fails, 12 or 13 on saves. However you want to do it.
I think you round down in D&D. I think that's a standard rule if I remember correctly. Okie doke. They're all still up, but the flames are burning about them at this moment. Anything else, Simon? Cackles. Throws his head back and he cackles.
Like robes are like flowing.
And do you want to handle archers? Or will those go on my turn?
Oh, I do the archers too.
Okay. How many archers you got?
I think we have
It's 6 on that side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there are these 4.
Okay, so they gotta kind of push up toward the front, toward the edge of the.
We
They're still
will-
concealed as they do so. So these ones, these are the archers you're talking about here.
I will do the first 4 on the far side at the lead guys at the bend.
Okay, and these guys are gonna have to move up to get any shots, and those guys. So they're gonna have to push over into that opening to really kind of. They could. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so each of them just. I think I gave you the pluses on there.
I was working out the assumption that there was at least some way for them to be
Yeah, sure.
among
That's
the
true.
trees.
Yep.
Out of those 24, a 21, a 17, a 15, and a 14.
Okay, everything but the 14 hits. Roll damage. Those are coming from the far guys?
From the far guys. They will each aim at one of those front guys. 3 points of damage, 5 points of damage, and 2 points of damage.
3, 5, and 2?
And 2.
Okay, they're still up, but...
There's 5 of those guys.
6 of those guys.
No, I mean 5 of the enemies.
Ah. Okay.
Well, actually, they go behind the flames.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Those other 6 will aim at those guys. That definitely misses. That misses. 2 23s hit. 5 and 3 points of damage on whoever.
On 2 guys?
On 2 guys.
The 2 of the ones that were injured before, or 2 different ones?
Sure.
Okay, 5 and 3.
And then 2 more. A 19 and a natural
Natural
20.
Woo! Pull a critical card.
She doesn't have to be. She's got some magic and stuff. And actually, she'll be able to
Maximum
slow things down if
damage
they get too close. So.
to the head.
We're kinda
DC
like in the
10
back
con
middle
check or
area.
be stunned.
All right, because we're probably going to need to front line up a couple hexes.
I'll go with you. I mean, I'll still go with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be.
But
in
she's
the,
not a
You can be in the
front line.
row immediately behind me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or be stunned.
Oh, DC 10, not
Yeah.
roll. I'm thinking a D10. I'm like,
Yeah, it's better than everyone's in
how
front
do
of
you
me if I
roll
need to
a
heal.
D10?
I can just do it right in front.
Okay, he rolls a 16.
So that's 11 damage. And he's not stunned.
Okay, understood.
And the other one.
He's screaming, he's got an arrow in his head.
Another one takes 3 points of damage.
Another one takes, it's a different one?
Yeah.
Okay, they're all up.
Their
but-
choice. And that's all the archers.
Okay. And Balder, you are up. You're cranking. I assume you're cranking away at this ballista at this point?
We're gonna fire it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say you had it loaded.
Yeah, we
Roll
loaded one.
away.
18 plus 8, it hits.
Whoosh. And the guy has to make a con save, if I remember, or what kind of save?
Just says on a hit, it does. Oh, he has to do a DC 20 dex save.
DC 20. I don't think. No way. He doesn't have a chance. He fails miserably.
So he is knocked prone and restrained.
Which guy is it?
We guess the one right in front.
Whoosh. He's knocked prone. How much damage?
Let's see. 6, 12, 8, 20.
For one guy?
6.
It's a siege weapon.
12. 13, 14, 15, 35 damage.
35 points of damage. This massive ballista bolt rips right through him and just pins him to the ground, and he's just flailed.
Does it get anybody else?
He's lean. I'll give you a chance. Roll 1d6 on a 4 through 6. You might have pierced the guy behind him.
3.
No, it slams. He's like just sticking through him and sticking into this
huge bolt.
Huge, massive bolt just piercing through him. Anything else, Balder?
That is it.
Cartre, you are up. Nadius is on deck.
I am going to. How far away is this guy anyway? I'm just curious.
Just count the hexes.
Is there hexes there? I didn't see him.
About 12.
12 is that?
60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, perfect. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna like have my shield and raise my, like warhammer up and it's like, Odin, smite them, and throw a sacred flame down on him. It's gonna make a dex save. DC 16.
DC. What level spell is that?
It is a. It's a cantrip.
Cantrip.
How far was fire?
The whippy sounding spell. What does he have to make? A DC what?
16.
16, and he rolls a.
You could say that this started explosively.
He's got
Because I can shoot
a
that and still make an attack.
30-20.
I can
30-20.
still pull the trigger
All right.
on the ballista.
Flames him down, but it misses him. But I'm going to place myself.
I have to just wind it up
right there.
Okay.
Getting ready for Mattias.
That is Kartra. Mattias, you are up.
All right. In preparation, I move up here. Just move up the front lines slightly more to give ourselves a slightly wider, a slightly better defensive line.
I like it.
Okay, that is. Anything else, Mattias?
No, not unless we have any. Well, I mean, I have a bow and arrow, but I probably have my sword and shield drawn right now.
It's up to you.
No, I'm going to assume that I have my sword and shield.
Okay, it is top of round 2. Aldrich, you are up.
Okay, again. I'm gonna assume I can't really see through the flame wall, so I'll just try to shoot the other lead guy now. Guessing that a 13 is not gonna hit.
On which guy?
The first guy standing.
The first guy standing at 13. Whoosh! The arrow goes flying by him.
Should we replace the guy on the ground with a?
Sure. Good point. Thank you very much. There you go. Whoosh! Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I'm not enjoying this too much. I'm gonna.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna go back down the way here.
Dice rolls suck. How do you think the enemy feels right now?
It's true.
Yeah, they're the ones who suddenly had a massive wall of flame just explode in the middle of their formation.
Well, they should have known better.
Not my fault. Not my fault at all.
True. They should have known better.
Okay, anything else?
No.
That is Aldrich. The opponents are up. These guys continue to push forward. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're just running up as fast as they possibly can, trying to close with the enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is really all the opponents can do at this moment. Zyman, you are up. Killer.
Anybody that's within that ended their turn within 10 feet of the firewall.
10 feet extending outward? Okay, yeah, I'm going to say all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them did.
I think your kill count's gonna rile Borinth now.
It's 21 points of fire damage to all of them.
Not quite, but it's close.
21 points. No save?
No, only the save on the first cast.
If Borinth was here, he'd be spinning through all of them.
Yeah, Borinth would just make this.
These guys don't look happy. They're all kind of like dodged. Like their morale seems like they're holding, but it ain't holding very firm. Okay?
And for my action, because that was for them ending their turn. Let's see, for my action.
And you also have the archers.
And I do have the archers too, I know. Oh,
Roll them
man.
again. Blast them off the cliff.
I'm gonna fireball all the guys in the back again.
How long does the wall of fire last?
About 1 minute.
Oh,
so that's all. We've been 2 rounds so far. So
a while.
A while.
For the bad guys, an eternity right now.
How long is a turn?
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
Oh,
It's only round 2.
That's 6 seconds every round.
What's the DC?
17.
17. 1, 2, 3 fails.
And then
No,
you just
2
cast it
fails,
again.
3 saves.
29 on a fail. And
This is beautiful.
14 on the save.
As people are melting in front
Some
of you.
of them were injured before, and they
Glow of
just
the fire reflecting off
what
your
was it,
armor.
29 on a fail, you said?
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet
29,
mystery
14.
of life. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
2 more
I
go
mean, he has
down
been
in the
to
back. We'll just say it randomly there and there. And 2 more go down in the back, and the others
And that'll be it for me. More cackling
What
laughter.
about the archers?
Oh, and the archers. Okay.
Is anybody controlling Klaus at this point?
I'm controlling the
Klaus.
You can't control
I'm keeping them in
Klaus, he's
reserve.
the enemy.
I'm keeping them in reserve right now.
Okay,
Because
the
right now we have this group up here with me and Archer.
the 4 across the river will aim at the first 2.
Roger that.
That was my orders, actually.
The highest is a 14, which I think
14.
misses.
He's running so fast. It's not the skill of the archer. It just sort of flies right past him as his head goes behind it.
All 4 of them miss. The next 4 guys will also aim at the 2 head guys. 23, a 19, and a 17 will hit.
All 3 hits. They land home.
The guy in the lead takes 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage to the guy in the lead.
The guy behind him, 6.
And then you have 2 more.
Yep.
He's not hurt. He's been pierced before. He's got it.
Again,
and how much the guy behind him?
Nice. Natural 20.
6 to the guy behind him. And a critical to the guy behind him.
Yeah, 1 miss and 1 critical on the last 2 guys. Maximum damage, and that's it. So that would be 9 points of
9
damage
points to the third
lead.
one? To the lead one.
We'll say he was aiming for the middle guy.
The middle, 9 more to that guy. He's barely holding on.
And that's all the archers and everything else.
Okay, that's cool. That's Simon. Boulder, you are up. You're cranking away and trying to load.
Is there any difference to Klaus's stats besides the 40 hit points?
Yes, there is. I mean, he's going to be, call him +2 more to hit and +2 more to damage. And he has a feat we'll come up with. And he's a battle master, so he's got some superiority dice. Actually, we'll just make him a champion. He's got criticals on a 19 or a 20.
Alright, so I will load the ballista up, and just for fun, I'll action surge and fire it.
Okay!
There you go. Just for fun.
Nice.
Well, it takes you 2 rounds, so you'll be able to fire at the beginning of next round, because it takes you, instead of 3... Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. You fire away. You crank away. This Balder's cranking away, and the guys are trying to keep up with you. They're like, here's the arrow. Here's the bolt. And then
Right
the
as they
three
put
guys-
it in, I fire it, and we're gonna make sure this works. All right, 18.
18. It hits. Which one are you aiming for?
I'm gonna try to go in a straight line and see who I can get. So we're gonna do the 4th guy.
The 4th guy, maybe you might be able to get the guy behind him at the same time. Okay, the 4th guy, he has to make a dex save. And what is his...
I'm gonna start counting.
17, 18, 19. He fails.
12,
He fails.
10, 22, 25. 25. What do we got? 30, 35, 41, 44, 45.
45. It rips right through him. He fails his dex save. He's pinned to the ground. Roll a d6 and see if it goes through the guy
it goes
behind
through.
him. Wham! See if he makes his dex save. He does not. He takes whoosh. He's ripped right in half. And the 2 of them, you see these 2 guys skewered on this long,
Matthias, meanwhile, is like, we could conquer the whole damned world with this thing.
And then for
eternal blue sky,
I'll just kind of slap one of the guys in the back. Take it from here, boys, and I'm gonna use my movement to start heading.
Okay, you start heading down the trail. Understood. Kartra, you are up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Is it
Shout
8
out
or
Thor,
40?
lend me your
40.
aid! And
30.
I cast spiritual
Okay.
weapons,
6.
summoning an Asgardian hammer out.
Ooh.
Fly out and smack at the guy in the front.
Matthias at this point is just beating his sword against his shield.
He's excited.
24.
24. Your hammer slams home into him.
Pow.
Are the rest of the men at arms starting to beat
nice.
their swords against their shields
13
too?
force damage. As it comes
Everybody,
through.
your side, everybody's, in very high spirits at this point. They're like, I hope it keeps going like this. How much damage?
13.
13 on the lead guy. You slam
Or
into him.
Argrad.
It just bashes him down, and he collapses.
They have a cave dragon.
I'm just gonna use this as the hammer just floating there unless you got something. Let's just leave.
No. No. Considering my archetype, they have a cave troll.
Hey, we're gonna have to pause this for 2 weeks. Don't give him any idea.
I do have a hammer for you, just not at the moment. It's a spiritual hammer, but it's close enough.
Yeah, it is a spiritual hammer.
Oh, well, there you go. It's in the painting room.
I can go get it if you want.
If you want to look on my desk, sure. There should be a whole bunch of spiritual weapons. There are a whole myriad of them. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move up just so I'm behind these guys ready.
Okay. And then Mattias is on deck. As soon as Mattias, you're up.
Ride your horse back here faster!
It's an empty suit of armor. He magically left it. He magically left it real
You don't
quick.
have to worry about it. It's not that critical. Well, it'll be there
I
for.
didn't see it for some reason.
That's
Get it
okay.
next
All right.
You are up, sir.
All right.
We'll be ready for the next time.
Matthias, to move up or not to move up? No, I don't think it's a good idea.
We should engage.
Move up. Don't let him gain any more ground.
True, and if we hold them here, we could get more combos.
They can't get past the turn.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Don't trip over the dead
He would
bodies.
get an attack in on that guy.
He would?
Yeah, well, I think he was right there. And he also has a pole arm, so he's got a reach of 10 feet.
Ah. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the bad guy getting an attack on him.
No, I said your troop would.
Ah.
Who left this hammer here?
The hammer's just floating there.
Okay.
I would say all three. You're all in. It's close enough.
Grab the hammer.
Okay.
All three are close enough.
Matthias gives an order that he thinks will be interpreted correctly as an advance, and he and the men at arms move forward in as best a shield wall as they can manage.
They see you move forward, and the five of them just automatically they lock shields and they start to move forward. They drop their halberds in front of them, and if you wave back toward Vice, he sits there and he understands whatever he intends you to do. He speaks adventurers can't, and the three front troops, your two troops and yourself, you can attack away.
Excellent. Okay, my two guys first. So they have a +4 to hit. So I'm gonna use an inspiration for one of them because I always forget, and I have a stockpile. So a 16 and a. That is a +4. 18.
Both hit.
Okay.
Your sword cuts through their heavy armor.
All right, and damage 1d8 +2 slashing. So first guy, 7 damage.
7 damage.
Second guy.
Oh, you're
3
attacking
damage.
2 different ones?
No.
These are your other troops? The 2 frontline troops?
Yes.
Okay, first one, he does 7 to him, and then the other one does, there's
3.
only one right there, he does another 3 to him. So,
And then finally, myself. And with my bonuses, +5, +3, +3, 11, 26.
26, your sword, you just feel it like cutting through the leather in their armor like butter. It's just, and it slices back through as you pull it out. How much damage do you do?
13.
13. Even before your sword cuts back across again, the body just falls limp across it, and it's like you eviscerated it at the waist. between the halberd cuts into it, and you're sliced. Anything else, sir?
No, that'll be it.
Everybody having a good time?
Yeah. Yahoo!
Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. I hope everybody's having a great time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, as typical, I wanted to end at the end of the round because I hate ending in the middle, but we're a little bit late on time. I know we're going to be late by the time we get off.
It's all good.
So I apologize. I try to respect your time. I lost my
Consider it
pencil.
respected.
Okay. Going around the table, Jess, what was your highlight, sir? If there was one.
The whole night was a highlight for me. I enjoyed making the deal with Werner, and I'm enjoying emoliating masses of troops.
Immolation is a wholesome pastime.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
It's hard for me to take the lead face-wise as far as like the group goes and making the deal with Werner and stuff. So I was happy to do that, and it all worked out.
I really thought I don't know if speech is the right word that you created was really cool. Thank you for doing that. That was wickedly awesome.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
And no, that was really, really cool. So I thought that was I don't know. I'm just tongue-tied over it. It's really, really good.
Well, as a
like,
DM and you're a DM, it works best when everybody's
when you're invested in the game.
Yeah.
It adds something
Yeah,
to the
without a
it
doubt.
adds something to the
Without a
game,
doubt.
and so I really appreciate that. It says to me that you took the time to do that, and that's wickedly cool, and I do appreciate it. And you negotiated a deal, which I know you mentioned that you don't like being the face, but you negotiated a deal, which was a pretty key component, and you actually have to make good on it, but that remains to be seen. So far, so good.
And the book was unveiled to me, which seems like almost a distant memory as we're battling.
Yeah. So you burned through a couple third-level spells, and so we got a little ways to go here, but you guys are doing good. 2,500. Thank you for the log. Thank you for the hooks. 2,500 on experience points. With the level, you are level 9, correct?
Correct.
Yes, that is with the level difference. Ryan, what was your welcome back?
Thank you.
You are always missed. Fortunately, they didn't miss your combat ability last week, but they might have missed your eloquent tongue. I think last week was the last session was pretty much a lot of role playing, but still, which is, to me, that was one of my favorite games ever. I mean, this is fun. Don't get me wrong. This is a lot of fun, but that was one of my favorite. It was really cool.
Sad I
There
missed
was a
it.
wickedly lot of role playing. What was your highlight?
It's always nice to be able to.
I definitely enjoyed actually getting with Matthias and talking battle, since that's what he does. But obviously, operating a ballista was amazing, and I was very happy to do that. So
You skewered some guys.
that was amazing. So that was my highlight.
Good. I'm glad you like that. D&D ballistas are stupidly weak. So I sat there and said, I did the math. I said, why would an archer give up? Because it says in D&D, it takes 3 rounds. That comes right out of the rules.
Yeah.
1 to load, 1 to aim, 1 to fire. And so if you think about it, you could do at least 1 shot a round, and a good archer could put off 2 shots around at level 5. So why would you use a ballista bolt unless it did at least 3d6 and arguably 6d6 worth of damage?
Yeah.
Was kind of my logic. And so I sat there and said, it doesn't pass the common sense test. You wouldn't, right? I mean, why
shoot
would
an
you?
arrow.
Yeah, you would just shoot an arrow instead, or do something else instead. So that's why I plussed it up. And I said, it only makes more sense that it would do more damage, and that it would also have the potential. When you look at the miniatures, it has the potential to do something else. And it's got to be able to, if somebody's not just going to walk away with this huge 10-foot long bolt in their body and just, I continue toward the enemy.
15 damage.
No,
And I like that you were so quick to let my strength even make it better.
Yeah. Very cool. 1,500 on experience points,
Thank
sir.
you.
I hope you had a good time.
Of course.
Dennis, not Dennis. Joe, what was your highlight?
Um,
I'm sorry, you had a couple crappy rolls there, dude. I hope it doesn't
well,
color your vision of
not to focus too much on the combat. Really curious to see where this little thing with Klaus is going to go, how it's going to play out. I think I might have uncovered a plot line there.
Tom's got a lot of writing to do.
Oh my God.
Other than that, I enjoyed the pyrotechnics display by Zyman, and yeah, I mean, you know, some always fun delving into the deeps with Contra.
No, we will be going back.
And I had a little back and forth with Maddie as well, so that was fun too.
My bad. So we have a viewer named Stella Artois, who
That's a good
who is
Sponsor us?
Stella Artois? Anybody know who?
No.
The assassin eats during the prayer. Thank you, Stella Artois. And Stella Artois, Balder is rocking it, but what was something I was looking at? Good thing that sneaky sob Aldrich is coming out for a backstab out of the water. I'm not sure where that is. Just the lower intestine. Artois, cheers to you. Thank you for the beer. I appreciate your watching. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I thought your sneaking around in the quote dungeon unquote was interesting. I thought that was very cool. I was interested. I don't know why you don't trust anyone, but it's all good. You're still level 8, correct?
Correct. Just made level 8.
Just made level 8. So 3,000 experience points, sir. 3,000. We had some combat and some great RP, and you made a.
4 to go.
Dennis, what was your highlight?
I kind of like the dungeon delving, you know, just going down there. It felt like Kartra kind of slowly becoming one with the group a little bit more. Taking charge, talking to people a little bit more. So she's getting a little more comfortable with everybody. You know, I kind of like that.
It's interesting. I want to see how Dennis finds Kartra's voice, if that makes sense. I know that
I'm working on something. I'm just not ready to unveil it yet.
And, yeah, well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for the adventure log and the hook. And you're level 8 still, correct?
Yep.
3,000 experience points, sir. Mattias, what was your highlight? Reiner?
Being able to really build up all of this, I think the interaction and the planning and the payoff is fantastic so far, and it's gonna. And I'm sure it's, even if it doesn't stay this way, it's gonna be great all the way through.
Oh, very cool. I'm glad you could join us.
Yes.
The next game, I think, is the 8th of July, which is coincidental with you start school again on the 6th.
I believe I would start on the 6th. I
Okay,
need to
well,
check
which makes sense because the federal holiday is on the 5th. I hope you can join us on the 8th. And,
We'll see.
And you can always do college from here. So, and you're still level 10, correct?
Yes.
1,500 on experience points.
Thank you.
Guys, I had a good time. I feel bad sometimes when there's not combat, and I also feel bad sometimes when there's not role play. So there's a balance. We got started on some combat tonight. It got a little bit late, but at least we got started. So I do.
I think we all equally love both. I'm still upset that I missed last session.
I want to apologize to Stella Artois. I just see your message. SOB means S.O.B.
Son of a bitch.
I assume you mean son of a bitch. Minute of it. Nice working with everyone. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. And thank you for all of our subscribers joining us. Thank you for watching 7-Sided Dice Carpathian Adventure. We would like to again thank Sirenscape for their use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you, artists Yenu and Silky Noir, for the terrific character art. Please patronize them by the @Yenu draws on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter. And please patronize Silky Noir on DeviantArt. Please comment on YouTube, in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, and on Twitter, and on Instagram. While we do this strictly for fun, please comment, and thank you, Silky Noir. Not Silky Noir, Stella Artois. While we do this strictly for fun, please comment and let us know how we might improve our stream. Please follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and on Instagram. Please follow and like on Facebook. And please subscribe on YouTube. We just top 280 subscribers on YouTube. But for some channels, that's nothing. But it's a big deal to me. You know, we're a small channel, and to me, that's pretty cool.
If we get up to 300, I'm bringing cupcakes.
There you go, 300 cupcakes from Zyman Jess.
Special guest character, Spartan Warrior.
Yeah, there you go. So I do appreciate it. As we leave you, please indulge my periodic diatribe. In a forum about Dungeons and Dragons, I recently read the advice of another dungeon master to new DMs. I don't know why I migrate to these. For some reason I do. Perhaps it's because I've been playing D&D for, believe it or not, 40 years. That's scary. It's not the version we play today, rest assured. The DM's premise was, if the players are having fun, you will have fun. On the surface, I think that is one of the most common pieces of advice that is doled out on the internet. But I also think, in my humble opinion, it is some of the worst advice one can offer a DM, particularly a new DM. Listen, I'm not suggesting that a DM should disregard their players' fun. As a DM, by all means, try to ensure that your players have fun. The DM needs to listen to and be attentive to the players. But challenge them, cheer them on, reward them. The DM has a disproportionate degree of responsibility when it comes to cultivating a happy table. So yes, a good DM will have the party's fun as a major priority and endeavor to maximize it too. However, just like any relationship, linking your happiness to the enjoyment of other people is, in my humble opinion, a recipe for failure. Then what would I have advised? What would be better advice, in my opinion? Well, DM the concept and the campaign that you are passionate about. If you don't, it will become a chore. Once a chore, you will cease to invest energy into it and making something fun. Then, if it hasn't already, the game will start to die. Your motivation will drop further, and the campaign will eventually grind to a halt. At some point, the group will disband. It's just a matter of time. This is why it's important to have what other people call, it's not what I call, I wish I had come up with it, a session zero. It's very important. With very few exceptions, I have become a huge proponent of session zero. Your players need to know exactly what setting and concept you have in mind for your campaign. Then they have the opportunity to build characters to fit that setting. Even with a campaign in progress, this can be done anytime there is a new addition. Sometimes even when player characters change classes or other characters. Since using a session zero with my games, I've consistently had more fun myself, sure. Even with one, there are occasional sparring matches between a player and a DM. I have also had people say, quote, "This doesn't seem like it's that much fun for me." And that's fine. I would rather they find out before they started to play than later. Listen, I could go on and on about a session zero, but more about that at a later time. In my humble opinion, some of the best advice one can give a new DM, and one of the best ways to avoid burnout as a DM, is to find the concept that you like to run. Don't compromise, and be upfront with it about your players. Maybe you love unpredictable actions, following the crazy antics of the party. Perhaps you're passionate about a setting and you want to share it. Perhaps you love acting out. Listen, I've got all kinds of crazy hair colors back here. You like acting out your NPCs. They just haven't encountered that one yet that Jesse saw. Whatever it is, high fantasy, low fantasy, high tech, spacefaring, etc., etc. It is the player's job to match the DM's concept, setting, and tone. Be careful about prioritizing your happiness to that of your players above your own. You will often find that unsustainable. Instead, run the kind of campaign that you want. There are games for all kinds of players out there, especially online. There's no need for you to run something that you don't want to. Or, as others have said, if the DM isn't having fun, eventually no one will be having fun. I will end my diatribe there. Always remember, in the Carpathian adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks, and I hope everybody's here. And maybe, I think we might even have a new player joining us. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die, and have a good night.
Huzzah!